nigga high as a motherfucker, by the way. Let me go fast one. I am the nigga, young dog. This high ass nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about the lean. Back in the day, crack was jumping on the scene. Now they slumped on the sidewalk. Can't talk. Golden era faded, but we still feel the rock. They used to be kings, now they lost in the scheme. Popping them bottles, throwing money, and living dreams. Now they zoned out and mumbling, fumbling. No rhythm in the city, the whole shit crumbling. They used to rock the house, they was riding through the streets. Remember there was dancing, sliding to the beat. Now it's poison in their veins, ain't no pulse on the street. Guess it's over now, they accepted defeat. Back in the day, the rock had a wild and free. Different story now, they got no energy. The new drugs got them slow with the hit unload. Out close and they don't dance no more. Block used to be jumping, top shit they was on. Now it's lights out, guess the thrill is gone.
I am the nigga, young dog. I bring it to your rough, rugged, and raw, nigga.
They don't dance no more, it's all about the codeine. Back in the day, they was rocking on the scene. Even dancing in the rain. Now they nodding off. Shit just don't hit the same.
I am that nigga, young dog.
You know what, Jungle? I gotta hand it to you. This is Fifth Ward Real, so I'll give you that.
I give you that. And I think we did bring it to you a pretty rough, raw, and real earlier today. Someone said you lost your knife, like $175. What? I lose too many knives to be carrying around a $175 knife. You know, this Rick Chow case, and I know some of you that have been watching the channel for a while, you probably curious, you know, why the hell is Junk also fixated on the Rick Chow case? And for those of you that are at least somewhat intuitive, you should probably notice that hell, Junk also had a whole bunch of shit stolen from him, not unlike Rick Chow. And they didn't just steal bottles of water from me. The blacks didn't just steal bottles of water from me. What did they steal? They stole valuable bikes, $1,000 bikes. And in one case, the damn black almost walked into my backyard, into my house to steal the bike. My back door was open. He just came right on up to my back door, could have just walked right in. And what if I had encountered that man like Rick Chow, had the deadly confrontation with Cyrus Belton or whatever his name is, then whose side would the people be on? Would they be on my side? Would they be on the criminal side? I'm thinking that a lot of these people would probably be on the criminal side. So we want to see, and I've shown you some of the testimony from some of the witnesses who clearly sided with the criminal Cyrus Belton, even though he was carrying a gun and stuff like that. So we're going to just do, you know, we won't do an exhaustive coverage. We'll get the updates, highlights, whatever, to see how is it going with the Rick Chow trial, as well as the first day of the Karmelo Anthony trial. So it should have been in jury selection at this point. So I'll lead off with the Rick Chow, then we get to Karmelo Anthony. For the most part, there will be only tweets for Karmelo Anthony. But for Rick Chow, well, there's clearly going to be some coverage. So this is Law and Crime Trials. We'll see if there's any talk here.
The rest of the world does. What the rest of the world calls us, calls prosecutors, I really don't care. You know, we're here to do justice, and that's why we're here now. To ask the jury to do something additional now, Judge, if they've got a question, they have the ability to write it down. They got the ability to say, hey, Judge, this did or didn't occur or whatever. And to my knowledge, that's not taking place. So in order to pull them out and start kind of poking and asking, you know, specific questions of them, I just don't think it's proper at this point. We've had other high-profile cases. We've not done it. We didn't do it in the Uber case here. We didn't do it. I mean, it's not been done that I can recollect. I'm not almost 30 years of practicing law. I've not had a case where that's happened, and I don't think that we need to start doing it now. The jury, they've been telling you
less than today. There were 3 TV stations. There was no internet. There was no social media. There were neighbors. And those opportunities were the only opportunities to be tainted by public opinion. And yet, for 3 decades or 4, our courts sequestered juries. To the best of my knowledge, we stopped doing that because of the expense. Okay, I get it. But today, 1,000 television channels, social media platforms that allow the worst and most scurrilous, degrading, disgusting conversations, even to the point of threats of violence, threats of destruction. That is so ubiquitous, John. And I think, I don't know that I recall making a motion like this, but having gone through the crucible of the Murdoch case, I recognize a couple of things. The frailty of a jury's willingness to come forward. And that's a human nature. It's not a dishonesty on the part of the jury. It's just a belief that it doesn't need to be recorded. So I would ask again, Your Honor.
Okay, here's some interesting clips right here.
He did the Allen charge maybe that morning.
Right.
He waited, if I remember correctly. But I could see him waiting and not, because if you give them the Allen charge now, they're not going to remember it as much. Or whether if it comes back in the next hour, he may give them the Allen charge, then send them home.
You know, what's interesting right here is that the judge is making the jury deliberate later into the evening, 7:41 p.m. South Carolina time. The jury is still deliberating.
You're right. If we cross that threshold of 9, I would imagine he waits and does it in the morning.
Well, by then, the jury will have been at the courthouse for about 12 hours.
Yes.
And again, the breaking news right now, as the jury continues to deliberate, a small number of protesters have gathered outside the Richland County Courthouse on Main Street in downtown Columbia, demanding what they call justice for Cyrus.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Did you hear that? Did everyone hear that? The blacks are now organizing outside of the courthouse, demanding justice for Cyrus. Cyrus, the young black man that was carrying the gun. The blacks are now saying, we want a conviction. We want a conviction.
Defense team gathered a small number of protesters have gathered outside the Richland County Courthouse on Main Street in downtown Columbia, demanding what they call justice for Cyrus. As we watch the defense team gather their belongings, and Rick Chow will be put back in handcuffs there. He'll be taken back to the holding room as we await another update from this jury. As always, you can continue to follow what's going on inside the courtroom, both on air and online at WLTX.com. We'll be back with another update as soon as we get one.
And I see Cyrus. And so there are protesters gathering outside of the courthouse to see if they have any other updates.
It was testified to, but it was right at that moment. This was a bam kind of situation the way it was described.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, and I did look at all this. As far as the violation of the law language, I'm not gonna charge on that. I think the implication of that charge would mean that there would have to be a violation of the law for someone to be not without fault. So I'm not gonna put that in there. I am gonna add the language of withdrawal. It is in the final charge. It will be on page 18 at the bottom. And here's the exact language. It went a little further than what you asked for, Mr. Copeland, because I think sort of cut it all short. Here's the exact language. One right to self-defense or defense of others is restored after withdrawal from the initial difficulty with the victim, if that withdrawal is communicated to the victim by word or act. Withdrawal from a conflict must be effectively communicated to the victim by word or act to restore the right to use self-defense or defense of others. An accused who provokes or initiates an assault cannot claim self-defense or defense of others unless the person intended both withdraws from the conflict and communicates his withdrawal by word or act to his adversary. So it went a little further. Then just, I guess you pretty much have the first sentence, but the model charge that we have added, that basically has to be essentially unequivocal that the person defended is withdrawing. So that's how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, here's some updates on the jury instruction. This is going to be very interesting. The jury has been deliberating for quite a while now, and the judge gives the jury only two choices to make in the Rick Chow murder trial.
Quiet, you detective.
Trial judge, it's my responsibility to preside over the trial. It's your responsibility to consider the testimony which has been presented from the witness stand and the exhibits introduced. I have the duty to charge the law applicable in this case. As presiding judge, I am the sole judge of the law, and it's your duty as jurors to accept and apply the law as I now stated to you. If you already have any idea as to what the law is or what the law ought to be, and it does not agree with what I tell you, the law is you must abandon your idea because you are sworn to accept the law and apply the law exactly as I stated to you. Your duty is to determine the facts. In every case, the jury is the sole and exclusive judge of facts. A trial judge cannot suggest, state, comment on, or make any statement to a trial jury about the facts in the case. Since you are the sole judge of the facts, you are not to infer from what I have said during the progress of this trial, in ruling upon the admissibility of evidence or otherwise, or anything that I say now during the course of this instruction to you, that I have any opinion about the facts in the case. The law does not allow me to have an opinion about the facts. This is a matter solely for you to determine. As jurors, it is your duty to determine the effect, the value, and weight of the evidence presented during the trial. The indictment charges the defendant with murder. The fact that the defendant was arrested, charged, and indicted is not evidence and cannot be considered by you as evidence of guilt, nor does it create any presumption or inference of guilt at all. This indictment is simply the formal written instrument which contains the charge made against the defendant. It is the formal document by which this case is brought into this court and gives this court jurisdiction. The defendant has pled not guilty to the indictment, and that plea puts the burden on the state to prove the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. A person charged with committing a criminal offense in South Carolina is never required to prove himself innocent. I charge you that is a guiding rule of law that the defendant in a criminal trial, no matter how serious the charge, is always presumed innocent of the crime for which the indictment was issued unless guilt is proven by evidence satisfying you of that guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This presumption of innocence does not end when you begin your deliberations, but accompanies the defendant throughout the trial until you reach it.
All right, yeah, I want to share a clip with you. This is something we mentioned earlier in the earlier stream that we did today. This is Rick Chow fighting some black customers, and you'll see he has a gun on his hip. That's probably Rick Chow's son right here. And that's Rick Chow right there with the gun on his hip. And as you can see, he's fighting these women out here. I mean, can you imagine trying to like run a grocery store in that kind of environment? People stealing, fighting you every day. Like this shit is enough to drive you crazy. And this is what I think ultimately happened to him. He had a temporary moment of insanity where he shot what he thought was a young black thief. Even the investigator said when Rick Chow realized that the guy didn't steal anything, he expressed shock because so many of the blacks come into the store stealing that Rick Chow was surprised that this one didn't steal anything. But instead of having a bottle of water in his hoodie pouch, he had a gun, a 9mm with 17, 18 rounds, one in the chamber, a laser as well. So this is what Rick Chow was up against. And you can see when it's not the men, it's the women, and this is how they behave. And this is 2 minutes of video. That's Rick Chow right there.
I told you to back off.
I told you I tried to get
I told you to back off.
You got my charger down there. Where's my piece? My floor. Why are you pushing me? Why are you pushing me? Pull out. Why are you pushing me? Not my face. I'm trying to be a push right now. Why are you touching me? I'm not hitting you, sir. Move.
Back off.
As you can see, they've destroyed this man. Still look like he may have had a weapon in his hand. He has a baton or something in his hand.
No,
I was not. What about the stuff that I just bought though?
And the Richland County Sheriff's Department is releasing new information about 2 prior incidents where Chow reportedly shot at his customers. The latest one happening in 2018 when Chow shot at a customer that assaulted him. Before that, in 2015, Chow reportedly shot at another customer he suspected of stealing. Chow says that customer left the gas station threatening him. Chow then ran behind him and shot at that individual's car 6 times. Luckily, in that incident, there were no injuries.
So Chow clearly has had a lot of issues in this neighborhood. And I'm not sure if they mentioned any of these things in the trial. But I think it's very interesting, though, that they have not convicted him. It seemed like it would have been a pretty straightforward case for them to convict Chow, considering he ran after the young man, a 14-year-old, you know, if they want to call him Chow, okay, we'll go with that terminology. Anyways, I'm looking for some updates here before I go to Twitter. Let's see, Rick Chow, see if there are any updates. I'm thinking that the verdict may come down today. The jury is being held by the judge. And so it looks like they may demand a verdict today. So it should be interesting. Or may try to get to a verdict today. Let's see if there's anything else before we get to the Karmelo Anthony trial. I haven't seen any updates. Let's see any updates here. Let me go to Twitter. See if there's anything. Rick Chow. I'll just scroll down Twitter. Rick Chow here. It looks like Charleston White is speaking out about it.
Everybody mad about what I'm saying, but you mean to tell me all these black people go against the nigga who's speaking up for niggas and side with that? All these black people mad at me about what I said about them Asian folk, homie. Johnny Dang and now another Chinese motherfucker ain't never done nothing for us, homie. They didn't cry when Tamir Rice died. Mike Brown. Nigga, even from the time they was building the railroad through the Pacific, and one of them had Burlington Northern on the side. The niggas was building the Burlington Northern, the Asians was building Pacific, trying to race to meet in the middle. Nigga, they didn't fuck with us. Even in our stores, nigga. Our kids can't go in their stores and just shop freely. Leave your backpacks at the door. You know, come in here. Nigga, they do our kids bad. And they sell stale candy, outdated food to our people, and they will kill our children behind that stale candy. Nigga, expired Snickers. They shot Latasha Harden in the head. Nigga, we still ain't done nothing about that. How the fuck they get a pass, nigga? And somebody do something to them bitches, and within 1 year of a president, these bitches got all kind of laws enacted. 1-800, nigga, baddest niggas been done in this country, homie. And they ain't never spoke one time for us. They Chinese rappers can come over here and go nigga, 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 nigga. And then when they get mad at us, they can also say, fuck you, nigga. We can't say fuck you, gook. We don't even know how to speak their language to disrespect them. So they come take on our culture. China Mac, Johnny Dang, they get to be niggas, huh? And when a nigga say, nah, fuck you, Chinese boy, go rap in your language. Until y'all get some back, y'all been taking, nigga. Y'all don't even hire us. Go look.
I guess Mr. Chow should have hired Cyrus.
Until y'all get some back, y'all been taking, nigga. Y'all don't even hire us. Go look at any y'all get some back, y'all been taking, nigga. Y'all don't even hire us. Go look at any Chinese restaurant. Any Chinese store. See if a nigga working anywhere, my nigga. See if a half-breed motherfucker working. Nigga, they'll go learn Spanish before they learn how to talk to a nigga. So man, no, how he get that, nigga? Nigga, we supposed to be boycotting Johnny Dane. We supposed to shame every goddamn black rapper, take their black dollar to that nigga. I'm sorry, to that Chinese motherfucker, whatever the fuck he is. He ain't no nigga. But fuck him. My nigga. Hey, my nigga. Hey, he got so much money. He's so rich. He telling us.
This is the blacks. There's just one black influencer there. That's his response. He had previously been involved in multiple confrontations. We looked at that one. This is someone saying he profiled a guy, prosecutor in the trial, just threw the case in closing arguments in a way I've never seen. He just spontaneously conceded the defense's entire case for no reason. That's interesting. He claimed that when Cyrus tripped and fell, the gun fell out of his hoodie pocket and he picked it up. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. For those of you that don't understand what this tweet is saying, is that the young man, Cyrus, the one that was killed, he had a backpack on his back and a gun in his hoodie pouch pocket. He tripped and fell, and one of his shoes fell off. The prosecutor conceded, apparently, according to this tweet, that Cyrus tripped and fell, the gun fell, and he picked it back up. That would be grounds, that would kind of validate Mr. Chow's son saying that he saw the gun in Cyrus's hand. This is very interesting. This could be why the jury is deliberating so long. This is very interesting. I did not know that the prosecutor said that. When a jury struggles, the judge shouldn't force a decision. Wow, this is very interesting if that is the case. And here's the video of it. What you're going to notice in this video is Mr. Chow is not on the floor. You're going to notice this. Watch how they watch Cyrus, but Mr. Chow is not on the floor. Look. So at this point, what you're seeing is Mr. Chow's wife right here in the blue shirt, and his son is in the black shirt, and Mr. Chow's in the back. Now watch how they're watching the young boy. He's the only one in the store at this point. I want you to notice something. Master Kim mentioned it earlier. Right here is a little monitor. It was mentioned in the trial that this is a facial recognition. It has facial recognition software on here. And Chow loads all of his thieves into this software. So when they walk into the store, their picture pops up here if they are in the system as identified as a thief. This is some fairly sophisticated technology implemented by Chow in a basic gas station. You can see the monitor here, and the wife is going to touch the monitor. Right now, she's about to touch the monitor. There she is, touching the monitor. And I want you to watch how they're watching the boy here. So at this point, the wife has come from behind the counter. I must remind you at this point, what came out in trial is that the boy has no money on him. Mr. Chow does not allow you to bring a backpack in the store, so he must have left his backpack at the door of the store. You see Chow's wife here is getting closer to him so she can track him. And at this point, she's just straight up just watching them. She's not even pretending like she's doing anything else. She's just straight up watching the guy. And it's, again, very interesting footage. And again, he doesn't have any money. His backpack is empty. The only thing on his person right now is a 9mm gun in his hoodie pouch. And that is what he dropped in his fleeing from Mr. Chow and his son. So in this hoodie right here is a 9mm gun that the Chow family thought was a bottle of water. The bulge that they're seeing there, they thought it was their own merchandise. In reality, it was a loaded handgun. And you can see Chow's son moving into a position where he can better monitor Cyrus. And I want you to for those of you the uninitiated here, this is a 14-year-old boy. Has no trust in the community. At 14, you don't trust him to even come into your store and not steal. This is the fate of 14-year-old children, black children here in America. You see this? This is Mrs. Chow at this point saying, hey, what's in your pocket? He got a gun. He can't show her the gun. She think he got a bottle of water. He won't pull his hands out of his pocket because of the gun. Look. He got a gun in his pocket. Now, Chow's son is coming from behind the counter. Again, Mr. Chow was not even on the floor during this entire encounter. Here's Mr. Chow finally coming into the scene. He's coming from behind back here. Again, if he had shown his hands, man, I didn't steal anything out of your store. All I got is my gun in my pouch. He'd have gotten a gun charge, he'd still be alive. But maybe he wouldn't have gotten a gun charge. Yeah, they probably just let him go. But either way it goes here, he didn't steal anything, but he was riding dirty, as they say. He had a gun on him. And so again, so you have to ask yourself how much of this video, how much of his running is due to him having the gun, knowing he's dirty with the gun. That is the question. Why did he run? Well, clearly he didn't steal anything. But here's some interesting footage. Clearly he didn't steal anything, but he was riding dirty. And he had to take off running when he didn't even commit a crime. And that's the sad part about it. I think they're...
I think a couple of copies would be fine.
The audio is not good here, but apparently both sides approved of giving the jury a written copy of jury instructions. They didn't think they were allowed, but look what happens when you have to have a couple of copies of instructions and dinner is on the way. The question is, will they be ordering dessert? The wait is brutal. I'm not sure what they mean by that. I can't really hear this audio. Of course, Tariq Nasheed is chiming in. Wow, yeah, it was 2030. Let's see what the latest tweets are. This was interesting testimony here.
Fit in with people, and then like growing up, you want accept. You know, you want to be cool with everybody. You want everybody to like you. You know, you want everybody to be around. You know, so you follow what's going on.
All right. So in your experience in the areas you grew up with, guns were cool.
Yeah.
And would you have certain cachet? You know what that means? Would it help your reputation sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Can you explain that?
I mean, it's like I said, it's more like it's a acceptance thing. That's what it'll help with. You know, kids being cool to you, being cool with other kids, you having an influence. You know, you just not being talked about in a, how they say, a lame way with kids. You know, you want to be popular or things like that.
So, in your experience growing up in the Bethel, Bishop, was it common or uncommon to see people who were under the age of 18 with guns?
Common.
High crime area, Bethel, Bishop. You yourself have been in some trouble. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. And got to ask you about some. I've got, as far as criminal convictions, in 2017, you got in a little bit of trouble, or maybe a lot of trouble. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see a conviction for an accessory after the fact to a felon.
Yes, sir.
You plead guilty to that?
Yes, sir. I did. They gave me 5 years for that.
Okay. I see that you were convicted of a possession of a stolen vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see.
Now I'm going to pause this for 1 second. I want you to read this here. This is an interesting case, sassafras. Presumably, this is a white woman. She tweets, "The only witnesses are all black, and all they know is that 14-year-old black teen had a gun, so he must be a victim." That's very interesting. Again, it seems that the tide is turning. And again, this guy's testimony really kind of highlights how, 14-year-old blacks running around with guns apparently is kind of normal.
You were a 14-year-old kid once. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in your experience, did you ever see other 14-year-olds or other youths with firearms?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever, I'm just asking, honestly, did you ever have a chance to hold a gun when you were underage?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you feel compelled to hold a gun or carry a gun?
I mean, just seeing the stuff that's around me, trying to, fit in with people, and then, like growing up, you want accept. You want to be cool with everybody. You want everybody to like you. You want everybody to be around.
Okay.
So you follow what's going on.
All right. So in your experience in the areas you grew up with, guns were cool.
Yeah.
And would you have certain cachet? You know what that means? Would it help your reputation sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Can you explain that?
I mean.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the prosecution questioning one of their witnesses who supposedly saw the trial, saw the murder. This is very sad.
Like I said, it's more like it's a acceptance thing. That's what it'll help with. Kids being cool to you, being cool with other kids, you having an influence. You just not being talked about in a, how they say, a lame way with kids. You want to be popular or things like that.
Okay. So, in your experience growing up in the Bethel, Bishop, was it common or uncommon to see people who were under the age of 18 with guns?
Common.
You heard that? Did you hear that? This is the environment that Mr. Chow operates in. Listen.
People who were under the age of 18 with guns.
Common.
Bethel, Bishop, was it common or uncommon to see people who were under the age of 18 with guns?
Common.
That is the environment that Mr. Chow was engaging in business. And I'm guessing if the jury is still held up here and they haven't made a decision, a lot of them are weighing what the hell he had to endure.
High crime area, Bethel Bishop. You yourself have been in some trouble. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I got to ask you about some. I've got, as far as criminal convictions, in 2017, you got in a little bit of trouble, or maybe a lot of trouble. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I see a conviction for an accessory after the fact to a felony.
Yes, sir.
Did you plead guilty to that?
Yes, sir. I did. They gave me 5 years for that.
Okay. I see that you were convicted of a possession of a stolen vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I see that you got convicted of an altar breach. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And let's say that was about 9 years ago that you pled guilty. I don't know when did the crimes occur?
Okay.
Again, I must stress to you that all of the black witnesses have sided with the victim. The one black woman, the postal service lady, she saw the black boy running out of the store, and she said, "I hope he get away."
Remember exactly what all of that. I played to all of those.
Okay. And that was 9 years ago, 2017.
Yeah.
Let's go to 3 years ago, May 28th, 2023. You remember that date?
Yes, sir.
You remember what you were doing on that day?
Yeah, I was going to my brother's house. Her brother's. I was meeting my girlfriend at her brother's house.
Okay. You meet your girlfriend
at her brother's house.
I got you. Okay. And where did your girlfriend's brother live?
Greenbrier Apartments off of Park Lane.
Okay. Had you been to the Greenbrier Apartments before?
Yes, sir.
Is that an area?
Wait a minute. Is that the apartment complex we called earlier today? We called Springbrook, and I think the other one was Greenbrier. And that's where this man was going to visit his bro man, or her bro man, whatever the hell it is. These people had nothing to do. They're marauding around in the middle of the day. The underman, I got to open up my tequila. I'm so sorry. As the underman says, there's nothing, this world has nothing really for them to do. So what do? They just hang out all day, chilling. What else? These are the witnesses that will likely, if Chow is convicted, these are the ones that would be responsible for his conviction.
Were you familiar with him?
Yeah, kind of. Just like going to his house, and her mom stays up street.
Okay. What were you driving at the time?
White Honda Accord.
All right. Do you remember what direction you were? I guess you would have turned off Park Lane Road.
Yeah, I was coming from the interstate, which is by the Circle K.
Okay, so then you would have taken a left or a right on the Spring Street.
All right.
Right. Okay. Let me 14. All right. Do you recognize what we're looking at in States 14?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I understand you right, what is this building with the red?
That's the gas station.
All right. Can you see me?
Yes.
You were coming up Park Lane and taking a right.
Yes.
Okay. 615. All right. Keep going. 16. Okay. And this, where that car would have been, you were just going up and you were taking a right.
Yeah. Whatever. Great car is.
Let me have slide. All right, have you seen this video before, State Slide 20?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Tell me if you see your car and just let me know when you see your car in this video.
Right there.
That's you over there, that white car?
Yeah.
Okay, play it. Okay. And did that show you on Park Lane taking a right on Spring Street?
Yeah.
Who was in the car with you?
Just me.
All right. What did you see?
As I turned, once I got like maybe by what's that stuff? An entryway in the parking lot for the store. There was the young boy and it was two people chasing. And by the time I got close by the entrance, he had ran out of shoe, like ran across the street. They still chasing him. He stumbles and falls. He's trying to get back up. He's making up.
Okay, let me stop you real quick. You talk about the young boy. Did you see the young boy you're describing in that video?
Yeah.
Space in 20?
Yeah.
Okay. What was he wearing?
A hoodie.
Okay. Then you said they were chasing him. Who was they?
The man and his son.
Okay. Have you ever seen any of these people before?
No.
Okay. The man and his son, do you know who that man is now?
Oh, yeah, now.
Okay. And who was that man?
His name Chow.
Okay. Do you see him?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is he?
Right there with the glass.
Okay. So Rick Chow and his son, and Rick Chow's son were chasing red shirt boy?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the boy in the red? Do you know him now to be Cyrus?
Yeah, now.
Okay.
I want to pause it here for a second. Here's some guy quoting South Carolina law. Again, this is getting very interesting. I followed this case fairly closely. I've listened to a lot of the witnesses. Again, the witnesses on the black side, or the witnesses against Chow, was you see felons or people that were siding with criminals. On Chow's side, you had him, his son. These are law-abiding people. They made reference to his daughter, who's a CPA. His son was a computer science major. And here is someone quoting South Carolina law. South Carolina statute requires the jury to determine whether Rick Chow had a reasonable belief that deadly force was necessary to prevent death or serious bodily injury to his son. That turns on testimony, timing, and physical evidence, including Andy Chow, his son, sworn testimony that the 14-year-old pointed a loaded 9mm at him after tripping. The prosecution has admitted that the boy dropped the gun and picked it up, and the matching firearm recovered near the body. This is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. This is Rick Chow, sorry. Oh boy, this is getting very interesting. This is the jury sending a note to the judge saying, what is malice? Sent out a critical note asking the judge, can you clarify exactly what constitutes malice? Because murder requires malice of forethought. This definition is the entire hinge of the case. It shows the jury is taking the specific letter of the law very seriously. This is trouble for the prosecution because, as I told you earlier, Rick Chow, unlike Karmelo Anthony, gave mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to Cyrus while he was vomiting. And Rick Chow suctioned the vomit with his own mouth and spit it out and continued to give this man mouth-to-mouth. This is getting to be a question of, did he have malice? And I don't think anyone could reasonably say that he had malice in his heart. So this is probably not going to be a murder if the judge clarifies this. So this is very, very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. It's a Trump supporter. The Rick Chow case shows a broken system. A 14-year-old with a loaded gun on our streets is unacceptable. Local businesses face constant theft. 14-year-olds should be able to carry guns, so on and so forth. I've been waiting on the verdict all day. He's most likely to be found guilty. Someone says he did his community a favor. Someone else said that. Is anyone want to comment on this? You come up, you can give me your thoughts. I'll put the link in the chat. If not, if you want to comment, feel free to put a yes in it, put a Y in the chat. Here's the same guy. He says the Rick Chow case in South Carolina and Columbia is not really about a bottle of water. It's whether a business owner still has a practical right to defend himself and his family when he reasonably believes an armed threat exists. The defense presented testimony that the 14-year-old pointed a gun at Chow's son. A loaded 9mm was recovered near the teen's body, and he was photographed posing with what appears to be the same gun the day before the shooting. The judge denied stand your ground immunity, ruling that Chow was not acting in self-defense when he pursued the teen. That makes sense. The case will now proceed to full murder trial. The outcome sends a clear mechanical signal to every business owner, even when you have reason to fear for your life or your family's safety, the legal system may still treat you as the criminal. The witnesses, and again, this is the interracial aspect of it, is that the witnesses also see Chow as a criminal, even though the blacks are going into the stores. There's the wall of shame of the blacks stealing. They still see him as the criminal. So again, this is all very interesting. And so this guy goes on. On it goes. And this is Rick Chow, still waiting on the jury. The jury's on break, what else, 6 hours ago. Let's see if there are any updates. But I'm guessing that the jury may come back today. That's what I'm guessing. The jury very well come back today, maybe while we're live. And that would be interesting to see what they say. Anyway, again, if anyone wants to come up, want to come in on the Rick Chow case while we're doing verdict watch here. Rick Chow, verdict watch. I wonder how long does he keep the jury deliberating tonight before he sends them home? At some point, he has to send them home if they can come through with verdict. Uh-oh. Here's something. That's Rick Chow's wife right here in the blue and white shirt. She's standing by her man, I guess you could say.
Court's Exhibit 23. Says, Judge, we request to hear your entire instructions to the jury. So they want to be completely recharged. I don't know if I'll ask if they want to hear about, the part about their duties and my duties and all that. And maybe where some of that's only a page. So I'll confirm with the foreperson that they want everything. And if so, we'll completely recharged.
We had earlier discussed the prosecution allowing them written instructions instead of your reading them to send it back to them.
What's the state's position on that?
And that could be the end of that right there. talking
Maybe
about.
not discretion. I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, I think I have the discretion to do that, and I can tell you I've never done it. My concern, and I do, like I said earlier, maybe during the charge conference, I have some of my colleagues that do it. My concern is it's all supposed to be considered as a whole. And Mr. McCullough might like really what's on page 12, and Mr. Scott might like what's on page 16, and Mr. Swerve might like what's on page 24, and not going to look at the rest of it. That's the only concern I have with it. They have, well, if y'all are okay with it, I'll consider doing it.
Whatever you say.
They specifically asked me to read it to them. I don't know if they knew they had it on. I mean,
And I'm happy to work this out however y'all, I mean, I can ask them if they think it would be helpful if they had a copy.
yeah, I think we'd be fine with that. That would help them.
My only concern, and it always was as a practitioner, that somebody zeroes in on one particular word instead of reading, the comprehensive charge. But I'm happy to entertain it and be convinced otherwise.
All right, so not much going on in the Rick Chow right now. The jury's still deliberating. This is a lady. I think she has courtroom access. The Karmelo Anthony trial has been restricted to I think 9 members of the media, so on and so forth. And so the Asians, the Arabs, it might be worse. Anyway, so here's day 1 of the Karmelo Anthony trial. And this is Sarah Fields. Again, she has access, I think, to the courtroom. She said first thing that became apparent was security. Everyone in the courtroom had to pass through courthouse had to pass through screening. Ooh, excuse me. Cell phones and electronic devices were prohibited. The only items I brought with me were a notepad, a pen, and my sunglasses. After passing through security, I made my way toward the courtroom area. The courthouse featured large whatever. Excuse me. So she's saying some man called her a demon, a heavyset man with a Hawaiian shirt. She didn't describe his race. California women showing up. Purple apparently is Carmelo's favorite color. The tension in the hallway was palpable. So there looks to not be a lot of organization. Jurors were being given packets, completing paperwork, and being screened for eligibility. At that point, I decided to walk around the courthouse, she says. She encountered Karmelo's supporters. TikTok created John Effect. He recognized her immediately, shook hands, spoke briefly, so on and so forth. Dominique Alexander, blah, 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 blah. Black woman wearing pink shirt with lace sleeves was escorted out of the courthouse. She was connected to the Karmelo Anthony family and had reportedly been caught recording members of the jury pool. Jesus Christ. This is going to be some trial here. What juror is going to want to be on this trial? on this jury. Several supporters of Karmelo were live streaming on TikTok and wearing Karmelo themed shirts. Members of the Black Panther movement present. Wow. A pro-white group was there. Wow, this is going to be a very closed court session. So day one was jury duty. What is this?
Anyway, we are stepping up the production value. So, Nick, while I've got you, and you were busy. Hey, Nick, doing my notes there again. I mean, you know, your friend Sarah has done incredible work on this case. All right, Rox, give me a comm check, please. Oh, she may be in speaker limbo. Welcome, Gen X. Welcome, Nikki. Glad to have you guys on board. Rox, this is starting to bug me. Good grief. Can't hear you at all. All right. All right. So, Rox, I'm not hearing you. Dr. A, we're good. So, Dr. A, you said early voting's been going on, and you think you're going to go through. When's the actual date? It's tomorrow, correct? Or next week?
No, it is tomorrow. We have less than 48 hours, so we've got voting open today, early voting as well.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about right here. Let's see.
Things that disqualify it. The first is provocation.
All right.
If you provoke the confrontation, for example, by taunting with touch me, punch me, and see what happens, armed and reaching for a weapon, you generally cannot claim self-defense unless you clearly withdraw and communicate it. Proportionality. Deadly force, i.e. a knife to the chest, resulting in a fatality, is not justified against a push or a grab in most cases. Absent a reasonable fear of serious injury or death, a single stab to the heart after verbal taunting and minor physical contact does not align with imminent fear of great bodily injury. Again, think about it yourself in this situation. You push somebody, they should not have the right to kill you because you can't hurt them. Now, again, circumstances could be different. Are you on the edge of a cliff? Again, these are things lawyers would actually say. All right, so the last thing is, are you the initial aggressor? And this one will be probably discussed quite a bit. Anthony brought a knife and quickly accessed it in response to a seating dispute. All right, with witnesses framing him as escalating into a verbal argument and then lethal violence. Now, I believe there is a
does anyone remember this guy here back in the day? He used to be on CT channel. What's it? Andre Williams? Anyone remember this guy? Anyway, his channel has gotten pretty big, by the way. I think he has maybe like 50,000 subscribers or something like that. And here's a post that he's put up here on Twitter. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Y'all got the hiccups. Bro. Y'all got the hiccups like hell. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Let me see how I get rid of these hiccups here.
Bro, y'all wanna know what's crazy? And it may sound a little crazy for real coming from a black person, but I literally load my gun every single day for black people. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't walk out the house and be like, oh, this white man finna kill me. This Mexican finna kill me. You know, not that they can't, you feel me? Because nobody's exempt from doing stupid shit. But it's just like, bro, like black people is what I'm loading my gun for every single day. Because I'm playing defense. I don't go out and start problems. I don't go out and say that I'm better and thinking I'm better than people who feel me. Because there's other people that got the same shit I got with buttons on them. You feel me? So I'm not like that at all. But like I literally load my gun every single day for black people. You feel me? Because you know, white people and Mexicans and all them, they not on the stupid shit that black niggas on. You walk in a room full of white people, they gonna be like, oh hey, I'm Bob, I'm Carl. You know, black niggas, you walk in the motherfucking room, they looking like they already got a problem with you. And nigga, this is my first time ever seeing your existence. What the fuck? Do that make sense? Like we already have a problem, and I just walked in the room. I ain't even look at you yet, gang. You staring at me as soon as I come in. You already like you want to off me just because what I look like. It'd be so crazy, bro. Like, why the fuck are black people like this? You feel me? Like, I don't get it. I literally load my gun every single day for black people. You feel me? Because I'm not expected to die from a white person or a Mexican or any other race other than black person. If we're being completely honest, I'm just being for real.
I did catch the last part of what he's saying. I want to hear it one more time.
Why the fuck are black people like this? You feel me? Like, I don't get it. I literally load my gun every single day for black people. You feel me? Because I'm not expected to die from a white person or a Mexican or any other race other than black person. If we're being completely honest, I'm just being for real.
And that was a young black man, probably being as honest as he's ever been. Saying he loads his gun for black people every day. That's very interesting. Anyway, man, I was hoping someone would come out with the Chow verdict. Let's see if there's any update. Any update? Oh, that was 4 days ago. Okay, let's see. Rick Chow. No updates. Let me see on Twitter. Excuse me.
Bro, y'all wanna know this?
Yeah, we heard that. All right, Rick Chow. And then we get to Karmelo at some point. Not much going on in Karmelo right now. They're just doing jury selection. Let's see. What do we have here? Jury's deliberating. Damn. I can't believe they're letting the jury go this late in the evening deliberating. Here's a witness. I think this witness was actually fabricating the truth.
Tell me what you see in that video.
My vehicle and Mr. Chow and the other gentleman running. At that point, I saw them, Cyrus run across the street, them chasing him. I saw Cyrus trip, but he didn't get up straight up. I thought he tripped again, and he went down.
Did you at any point in time see anything in Cyrus's hands?
I did not.
Would you be at a point where you could see things that were in his hands?
Yes.
What happened next? You can take your time.
I turned my vehicle around and went down to where they were located at. I stopped and I wrote down my window and asked, is everything okay? And he said, no, call 911.
What were the two men who were chasing him doing?
At this point, because I had to turn my vehicle around. So So I had to look left to make sure no car cut me. So then I drove down there, and when I stopped and asked if they needed help, was everything okay? The son, they was distance apart from Cyrus. Cyrus was in the middle of them, and Mr. Chow was in front of Cyrus. Cyrus was already laying on the ground, and the father was near the position where his head was at.
So let me ask this, just to make sure I'm getting this chronologically correct. Before you drove down there, you saw them run in front of your car.
Yes.
All right. And you saw him fall a couple times.
Yes.
All right. And then as he fell, you saw him, when he fell the final time, can you tell us where they were positioned?
I could not tell you.
This is a tweet from someone, Anglo Invictus. Never heard of him. Not that that matters. And this is again from National Conservatives, a retweet. A staggering 600 people from Collins County have been summoned to be on the jury for Karmelo Anthony's trial. The population is 47% white, 21% Asian, which is probably Indian, 16% Latino, and 12% Black. I think Collins County has a 100% Republican, what do they call it? The judges, although one of them is a Black conservative, quote unquote, woman. And here is a picture right here of some of the women in Collins County. So it is, these two cases are going to be very interesting. Karmelo Anthony supporters. See what he said. This guy says first day.
It's day one of the Karmelo Anthony trial here at the Collin County Courthouse in the Frisco region of North Texas. If you guys remember, Karmelo Anthony allegedly stabbed and murdered a white teenage boy named Austin Metcalf in Frisco ISD school district. This happened at a track meet where there was an altercation. As the story goes, Austin Metcalf claims that Karmelo Anthony was sitting in an area that he wasn't supposed to be in. He confronted him about moving, and then Karmelo Anthony stabbed him in front of his twin brother. He died there on the scene in front of his parents. Karmelo Anthony then fled the scene. Now, he later admitted that he was the one who actually stabbed Austin. So why is there a trial? Why is this not something that we can just decide as a matter of fact? Well, as you know, our court system tends to favor two groups. When a minority, specifically a Black person or a non-white person, kills a white person, it gets less press. There's a lot of defense of the person who killed the white guy and a lot of racism. And what we saw is that Karmelo Anthony actually was able to raise $600,000, the guy who stabbed Austin, where his family bought an Escalade, they bought a new house, and apparently maybe didn't buy him the best lawyers, because right now the trial is set that the only way that Karmelo Anthony can get out is if his defense attorneys can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Karmelo did have reason to believe he was in imminent danger. Now, we obviously have very strong self-defense laws here in Texas, some of the strongest in the entire country, which poses a very big trouble for Austin Metcalf's family. Now, Austin Metcalf's family, famously, the father disgraced the family by basically not saying what needed to be said, kind of cucked out, and took that role that you see when white parents have their white children killed by a minority. It's like, we don't want to be racist, but the rest of the country didn't feel that way. People are extremely angry, and they want to see justice, but the problem is that the courts tend to somehow victimize the attackers in these situations. They always say, they were raised in a poor home, or they were troubled, but in this case, Karmelo Anthony, he had both parents. He lives in one of the richest areas and was at a track meet in one of the richest areas in Texas. If you're not from here, well, it's very Indian. It's an extremely high net worth area where violence doesn't happen. In fact, it's like the third safest city from what I've seen in the entire United States of America. Yes, the whole immigration problem with the Indian issue causes cultural problems in the area, but violence is just not something that people are used to. It's not something that we deal with, and it's not something that we're accustomed to seeing at such a high net worth school like Frisco ISD, the high school where it took place. Now, what's kind of crazy is this morning at 6 a.m., lines began as Black women were taking vacations and traveling and waiting in line here to support Karmelo Anthony. You have seen this. It's not uncommon though with like serial killers and people that women, they read too many books, they watch too much Dateline, MSNBC, and To Catch a Predator and weird stuff. They start to fall in love with these people. My question is this: if Karmelo Anthony gets away with this, if we get another moment like in the Irina Zarutska trial where the killer is found incompetent or unable to stand trial, what does this mean for justice in our country? Ultimately speaking, the most justice that would be here, and I do not believe, my opinions from what I've studied and researched, that Karmelo Anthony was in any threat or danger. In fact, if it even was a verbal altercation, you cannot go out and stab someone, let alone murder someone, not to mention having a knife on school property. I think that there's a big question there with Castle Dodge. When you're on public property that's a no gun zone, no knife zone, you brought a weapon, meaning you were probably looking for some sort of an altercation, and you don't bring knives to a track meet, a high school track meet. Everybody would know that that's true. Even as parents, we're not allowed to bring guns or weapons. That's why there's police. It's a government property. So this case is quite conflicting, and it doesn't seem like there was anybody here supporting Austin Metcalf. Everybody's here supporting Karmelo Anthony. What's going on in our country where we're at racial lines, and the only people still defending their race, their people based upon intrinsic characteristics is every other race but white people? And that's the greater issue here in Frisco. The Indians are defending the Indians and their scams. You have Black Americans defending Black Americans because they're Black. And by the way, why are we all nervous about this? Because we know if you get the wrong judge, you get the wrong people on trial, Karmelo Anthony may actually get off.
Jesus Christ. And that is, I guess how you boil America down today. How many of you guys remember? Yeah, we've had so many people come up here. I played this clip several times. Hands. We need to throw hands. He like to throw hands.
Because it's like, I wouldn't expect that from him. I only know him fighting and stuff.
This is what a young lady said about Karmelo Anthony. I only know him for fighting, not stabbing people. And again, we need to throw hands.
I wouldn't expect that from him. I only know him fighting and stuff.
And again, I would imagine that at some point, if he's found guilty, or hell, you would think that even during the trial phase, he would want to put people up there that would say, hey, he's not violent. Yeah, I've never known him to be violent. But as this young lady says, I'm only known him to throw hands. Which brings me back to what I remember anyone remember we had Jason Kessler up here, and Jason Kessler said,
always racial components to violence between a Black person and a white person, and people are going to interpret the role that race played, and they're just going to be an element. But also, I think, it's just there's a disproportionate amount of crime, in particular homicide, that are done by the Black community, specifically Black males. And so from my perspective, it's hard not to look at that disproportionate share of the interracial homicides being committed by Black males.
Hello? Hey, Jason? Hello, Jason?
Yes.
Yeah. You're calling about a room for rent?
No, you wanted me to come on your YouTube channel.
Jason. Oh, just Jason Kessler. Oh shit. Oh, you want to join the panel, or you want to just talk on the phone? Anyway, that was Jason Kessler saying that Karmelo Anthony was primed for violence, and you heard the other guy saying, hey, well, he grew up in a very nice neighborhood, and you would think that he would be above behaving like that, but that's not necessarily the case. Any verdict in the Rick Chow yet? I can't believe the jury has gone this long. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, what just happened? Wait a minute. They released the jury or what? There's no sound. See if there's any sound here.
So,
Oh.
all right, I understand, ladies and gentlemen, we have a verdict.
Uh-oh.
Now again, as I cautioned everybody earlier.
Oh,
there
shit.
aren't gonna be any
Guys, what do you think the verdict is, guys? Oh, shit. Somebody just said not guilty in the chat. No way. No way.
So you'll be removed from the courtroom.
Oh, shit.
Like I said earlier, I appreciate everyone.
Oh, shit.
Being respectful throughout.
My
the
boy,
past
if this man found not guilty, me and Brady doing a stream tomorrow, we're going to do a damn victory lap. I said it earlier. I said, somebody got to step up. I said it in the stream earlier today. If this man found not guilty, John Guard gets to do a victory lap. Pole position on
another, even though there are a lot of emotions in this case, and everybody sits at two very diametrically opposed views on this case. But again, not going to have any outbursts, anything of that nature. If so, you'll be removed. All right, bring us the jury, please. Yes, sir.
Uh-oh. Here it comes. Uh-oh. It's coming. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Jury seated, Your Honor. All right, man, poor lady, I understand you preach the verdict.
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. This is the South Carolina versus Rick Chow trial. He shot a 14-year-old black boy in the back.
Number 2023 GS 40-07440. State of South Carolina, County of Richland versus Chike Rick Chow. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chike Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty, by number 302, foreperson, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Thank you. Madam Forelady and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to ask you 2 questions relating to your verdict. Please answer yes or no to each. Number 302, was this your verdict?
Yes, it was.
Is it still your verdict?
My bike, nigga.
Number 2.
This is my bike, you niggers. We finally won one.
257.
This is my bike, bitches.
Is it still your verdict? Number 63, was this your verdict? Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Number 208, was this your verdict? 208.
This is my
Is it
bike.
still your verdict?
This is my bike.
Number
right here.
226, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Number 329, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict? Number 222, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict? Number 164, was this your verdict?
Yes.
It's my
Is
verdict.
it still your verdict?
It's my verdict.
Number 21, was this
My
your
birthday.
verdict?
This for my bike,
Is it still
nigga.
your verdict?
Yes.
Number 204, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
I feel like I
Number
won one.
232, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Number 259, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
The jury's been called, Your Honor.
This for my bike.
Anything else?
This is my bike. This is what I couldn't do. Mr. Chow did it for me. It's for my bike right here.
10 days for any post-trial motions you may have, and any defense.
Put it over here.
Okay, thank you. You can return to your jury room. I'll be right back there to the queue.
We'd like to thank the jury.
These niggas about to burn something tonight. These niggas about to burn something. Burn something. Burn something, niggas. Burn something. Twerk something. Burn something, niggas. Burn something. Ain't nothing else left. Green light. Green light. Burn something, nigga. Listen, I told y'all this morning. I was on the stream. I was like, man, at some point it's coming. At some point it's coming. I told y'all this morning. I wish I could wake up, be brave. I wish I could wake up, be brave. Be brave would be so happy right there. We got one now. We got one. It's for my bike.
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hold on, Master Kid. Let me put you on the stream. I don't know if you heard the news or not.
No. Whoa, what the heck happened?
Not guilty. Chow.
Oh, the Ricky guy?
Not guilty.
You're kidding me. That's amazing.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's amazing? What's so amazing about that? Fucking man deal with these fucking blacks all day? Shit. The fuck's so amazing about that?
Are you live right now on your stream?
Yeah. That man going home. His family, his wife stood by him. His children, everything. That Confucianism paid off.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. I don't know how I missed that. I need to that shit. Oh my god, that's absolute. Now was he found guilty of like negligent?
Shit. Nothing, man. He had the right to carry the gun. He had a CPL. Remember, like he was clean. He was clean as a whistle. But you know, the bigger point is showing that that boy had a gun. And I think the community said, man, we tired of this bullshit. Witnesses getting up on the stand talking about it's normal for 14-year-olds to carry a gun. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, get this bullshit out of here, man. Nobody want to deal with no shit like that. If that's all your witnesses is criminals and criminal-minded people, then like, let's make it open season on these damn criminals. And that's what the jury just said. You're going to bring us some criminals, 5-6-time felons and shit, to testify against an upstanding man? I'm siding with the upstanding man. The hell with that. I told you, these people, drove that man crazy. This is what I'm trying to, like, this is why I let off with the stream. Go ahead, Master Kim.
And it's surprising that there were no allegations of racism. They never had any disdain. They were cussed out customers, calling them, that there was no testimony of that.
No.
Even trying to fake the funk, there was none of that, which is good too, right?
Mm-hmm. He snapped. And I think they basically let him go and say, man, this is a good man. Yeah. And this was a temporary moment of insanity on his part because he has to deal with fucking blacks every day. I think if they ever poll the jurors, that's what we're going to find out. And if the jurors, to be honest, which I hope they will be, the blacks are going to realize this is a new day.
Yeah, and you're right, John. And just real quick, are you live right now? Or
Yeah. We're live, Mr. Kim. Yeah, we're live, Mr. Kim. I just wanted you to notice this man just got found not guilty. The blacks are going to, it's going to be hard for them to reconcile this.
Well, I think you're right. And just like that lady that I said was lying, kind of a middle-class black lady that said she was going to urging for that kid to run away. I think she's one of the people too that's probably had enough, right? But
nah, she stood up for the criminal. Hold on, that black ass woman stood up for the criminal. Instinctively, she said, "I was hoping that he got away." She didn't stand with Chow. She didn't say, "Hey, I've been in the store many times. Chow may not be the nicest, but the store is clean. He didn't cheat me out of my change or anything like that." That's what she said. She didn't have any complaints about him. She didn't say he was a racist. She didn't say anything like that. She'd been in the store many times. But as soon as she saw that black boy running from him, she sided with the black boy as if the black boy wasn't no fucking criminal. Like, this is the big ass lie. And I think the jury saw through it. You had blacks up there on the stand trying to send a hard-working, honest citizen to prison, trying to justify 14-year-olds carrying guns. Man, that's just America has gotten too hard now for people to tolerate bullshit. It's just like, you stealing from me? Look how many fucking bikes out of here stolen. You think anybody that's been watching my channel, if they get up on a jury and they got to hear about some fucking black carrying gun, how do you think they're going to get on a jury and vote?
Yeah.
And this is what I think we're seeing here. This is
earth-shattering. This is amazing. Just crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's why I covered this case, Mr. Kim, because this case struck home with me. I'm like, man, I know what that man is going through. And I said, he's snapping. I said, blacks are driving people insane. And I think the jury looked at him and said, he's not a killer. He's raised 2 productive children. How can we send him away to prison, away from his family? He's not a threat to anybody. How can we send him away? And I think that is what the jury looked at it in totality and said, like, he's not a threat to me.
You know what? And one thing also, John, this may sound strange, but this Chinese guy and their family, they're going to be able to, go on with their life rather well, because I'm sure whatever suburb that they live in is, it's not where the store is, right? They probably live in a nice, relatively decent school district and everything. So I guess regardless of what happens with that gas station, they're going to go on living their life.
Well, one of the things I want to focus on, Master Kim, is the reason why they were able to hold on for 3 years is because their daughter is a CPA and the son is a software developer.
Right.
That's what allowed them to hold it all together. Would you say that's fair, Master Kim?
Yeah, sure. You're exactly right. And it's kind of odd, trying to hold on to that. Yeah, I know that directly they still got control of the real estate at least.
Oh, really? Really? Wait a minute, Master Kim. You said that they still have control of the real estate, but not the store.
Yeah, yes, but that also might be kind of a straw deal, okay? Because
One
of the news reports, they said that like such and such green properties is listed on the maybe the register or the county of doing business as, right?
Yeah.
It also shows the previous owner too. That could just be messy filing and you could have 3 businesses existing at a business address.
Yeah.
Dropping paperwork because it's the responsibility of the previous business owner to cancel or end their DBA, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I think it's still the same owners and that they just put all black managers or people within the community working there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is the store all black now?
I'm not sure, but it says new managers of the locals.
Say what? Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
It said under new management by Logos. And I think that's the and just like what's your boy that said he doesn't want to rent out the Logos.
Yeah.
So yeah, Logos is AKA the Blacks.
Jesus Christ! So the blacks are taking over this store.
Yeah. So and I think it's just an illusion just to keep the asset operational because it's a hell of a lot better to have it open. Now his labor bill probably went up quite a bit. And at the end of the day, the people are trying to buy their Red Bull and Newports people going to work. They can give two F's. There is not a gas station close by, so people are going there. The place is reasonably clean. They got a public restroom. Any other gas station you go to with Pakistani and Indians, they got that. They don't got a public restroom. They keep it locked.
Wow.
So, these are minute things that mean something. So and where that kid was trying to steal the water, or allegedly the restrooms were to the left of there. But yeah, and a lot of it has to do with Shell. Shell is a great brand, and they really care about the customer's experience.
I think the boy was about to rob the store. If I had to guess, I would say like he went in there with no money. He probably was looking to, to rob the store. Maybe there's too many people in there. I don't know.
It's and knowing that whatever distraction, whatever deterrent that they had just isn't enough for him, right? To make him stop cold, right? So
Yeah.
Guy and walk around, and plus, people hear from the stories of all the other people that have, if I'm not mistaken, 2018, there were gunshots inside that store, and instead of someone tried to rob them, and the assailant had to be taken to the hospital. So that would, and so did customer A try to rob customer B in the store, or what was the store being held up? The newspapers are very vague because they don't want to say a black guy trying to rob this Asian store owner, and the store owner and shot him.
Yeah.
So that wasn't mentioned in the news, and maybe because they don't want to show a history that not just Mr. Chow is at gunplay, but that there's been several armed robberies that have happened at that location. There's one that happened in 2014 where the guy put on a bunch of foundation. I think that's the stuff you put on your face.
Yeah.
A bunch of makeup, and it was called the makeup robber or whatnot. So there's a bunch of stuff online of the armed robberies that have taken place at that location.
Damn, that is something right there, Mexican. So you're surprised that he was found not guilty, huh, Mexican?
I'm very surprised because of the political environment that we're in, and I look at the Karmelo Anthony thing, right? I think society doesn't want problems, and if it means appeasing, those that are going to get jumpy and just start wrecking shit and burning stuff down, hey, give them what they want, right?
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I think the guy should do some jail time because he took a life, and shame on him. There's some, anyone that's a gun enthusiast, they know the proper procedures and stuff like that, and it's a doggone shame. I think the kid was half white, right? So I'm sure that the grandparents would have the white grandparents would have dug his ass out and send him to piano lessons and football camp or something to make him like what the white grandparents do. They make these kids a success. So this kid could have been something despite his trashy asshole 14-year-old that got gunned down.
Yeah, this
the Chinese guy took a life, and that's horrible, absolutely horrible.
I wonder what this does for South Carolina property values. They just push the football a little bit upfield here. You can defend your property far off your property.
That is true. And this is a very odd situation where you've got a hard-working, kind of immigrant, all-American success story, and then butt heads with a completely different culture, a very defiant, disobedient culture, who has no respect for older people, blah, 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 blah. But the guy's so young. And I mean, you hear many stories of these guys. Oh, you should have saw me when I was a knucklehead when I was young, and they kind of grow out of it. Maybe this kid would have been like that. But yeah, just having a weapon just for the sake of just walking around with a weapon, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is amazing. Kudos to the guy's family for sticking by him. That's clearly very important. And here is the not guilty verdict. For those of you that missed it, I think it's here. For those of you that missed it, I can't believe it, actually. Yeah.
John, in the Chinese community, and it kind of breaks down from, going to Hong Kong, and, people that speak Mandarin and Cantonese, and, kind of breaks down into their little sects, but there are not going to be a bunch of Chinese that are going to be jumping up and down and be like, yeah, Mr. What's Chow got on?
Yeah.
They're going to think the guy is a loser for dealing with the blacks. So they're going to say, what did you expect?
Yeah.
Right. So rather than say, thank God he avoided legal problems, they think he's just smart.
Like stupid for getting himself mixed up with those people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done, but and that wasn't a jab at them, but I don't think he's going to get much love from the Chinese community. Say, oh, good, he got off. I think they'll look at him as a stupid.
You're for getting himself into the mix. Is that what you're saying? For getting himself.
For dealing with such a volatile community.
Yeah. It is kind of like how the blacks look at me and say, well, why do you live over there? And in his case, they're going to say, well, why do you deal with those violent ass people?
Yeah, your situation is severely different. Your situation is almost biblical, right? But rather than run away to the white boy suburbs, to say Mexican, that's not going to be and stuff like that. You said it in several episodes. You move back to this community. You can't do it alone. But if you're doing what you're doing as an entrepreneur, keeping the properties up, and your next door neighbors, and also you've got more commerce and money flowing into the black community.
Yeah.
The cash velocity is going to circle that much more. And when you throw that out there, people are just dead. They got nothing to say. I think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing, because if you didn't buy those properties, is it better for a white guy 2 zip codes away to buy those for rentals and not be attached to the community? At least you're trying to do something in that community. I mean, it's biblical.
I mean, that is the implication of what they're saying. And again, I showed the lady sprawled out naked on the ground today. That is kind of the alternative. You could have people sprawled out on the ground doing nothing, or you could have, people trying to be productive, and you got to create that environment. Let me see if I can play this not guilty verdict again for Chow. Is this it? No, he's gone by now. Let's see. Where's Chow? Here it is. Here's, I think, Chow being found not guilty. I'm assuming this is it. Let me, here it is. Here it comes. His wife is being shown here.
And look at them, they're all stone-faced because they're expecting emotion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hear your entire, they want to hear about, the part about their duties and my duties and all that, and maybe where some of their, that's only a page, so I'll confirm with the foreperson.
One thing on the street code I mentioned, and I wasn't trying to be insensitive when this guy had done a duty and he could just turn into a dust, I think what I was trying to hint at is, I think a lot of Asians and Hindu Indians are faithists, right?
Yeah.
It's, I don't think that they're going to pray to the Christian God for a miracle. I think that they're just faithists that, it was that time. And, 365 days in the year, over 10 years, 30,000 days, and it's the first time he's had to fire that weapon, in theory. And so from a odds or average, that's a very low average despite all the other violence. So
Yeah.
it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, here's another clip of it here, Mexican. This may be a more concise clip. Let me see.
And ladies and gentlemen, the jury, I'm going to ask you 2 questions relating to your verdict. Please answer yes or no to each. The jury unanimously find the defendant, Chi Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty.
Oof. Look at him, boy. He's stone-faced, too. Jesus Christ, you got to give it to him. Woo, boy. Woo, I can feel it foreign Mexican right here, man. Man, that man stone-faced like hell, man. Jesus Christ.
One thing I did want to say about his son, the older one that had testified, I guess.
Yeah.
You see how tall he was?
Yeah.
He looked like an American, he wasn't lean and faggy looking. He looked like an American kid.
Yeah.
To an Asian parent, that is a success.
Mm.
Right? That looks like just like these Indian kids here too. They just finger bone. These organizations that first generation are, and this is they look normal, I guess, right?
Yeah.
From a father perspective, having a boy that's almost 200 pounds, 5'11", that's pretty impressive. And also that kid, if he had the dog in him, which he doesn't, right?
Nah, that boy had a little dog in him. That boy had a little dog in him, Mexican. He was a swimming champ or something like that. He was kind of thick, 5'11", 200. He wasn't some weak ass, scrawny ass Asian kid. Like when his father said, "Mount up, let's go chase after this black," the boy didn't hesitate. Him and his father went after that boy.
Now, an American would have pulled the dad back, and the son himself would have chased after the kid, right?
Yeah.
But I think maybe the respect for the patriarch of the family, he didn't dare to tell his father what's up, And you can hear the way that kid the son was talking. He very much is young, and just not his own man, and maybe that's just part. They all live at home under the same roof and whatnot, and that's just part of the culture.
Yeah, that's part of the culture. And here it is again.
07440. State of South Carolina, County of Richland versus Chi Rick Chow. We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Chi Rick Chow, as to the charge of murder, not guilty. Fine number 302, foreperson, June the 1st, 2026. Madam Forelady, was this your verdict and the verdict of the entire jury?
I've been on bond this whole time.
Now he's been in jail the whole time.
Oh, okay. So he did a quick 2.5 years or 3 years.
Yeah, he did 3 years. Jesus Christ, man, that is amazing. That is really amazing. I think it's a shot across the bow to the race soldiers, the people who talking race. I think a lot of people just fed the fuck up, man. Their testimony from the witnesses against this honorable man was disgusting, bro. Totally disgusting.
Yeah, well, this guy and his son and everyone, they need to just sell that property if they can, which they can, and just move to Houston or some other area. The Chinese are very, what is the word? They can go anywhere. They don't need their community to make it. Unlike, Arabs and Indians, they got to have their mosque, they got to have their temple, they got to have their right little Indian bakery and all that shit, whereas Chinese don't go anywhere and independently kind of, establish themselves and become successful with or without other Chinese.
Yeah, now this is This is amazing times here in America. You have to say
Yeah,
that.
John, I think it's awesome the way you've covered it, brought some insight. I was a little bit aloof to it. I saw maybe 1 or 2 videos online about the guy chase him down. I was like, oh, that's not good. That's horrible. I mean, just, and despite that the guy got off, it was just a horrible thing that this young teenager was gunned down like that. It's just amazing. It's just, all of us have got kids, and, I just puzzling,
I think it was definitely a shot across the bow. Excuse me. And I think the next case to come up is Karmelo, and I think that's going to be another interesting case in a city very similar to South Carolina, in a state very similar to South Carolina, Texas.
Yeah.
So it shall be interesting. It's going to be very, very, very interesting. I can't wait to check on Twitter to see how the black people are responding to this. Very interesting. Excuse me. It's very interesting right here.
Hey, John, what's going on with your channel? There's not the ability to watch any of the private videos or members only. When will you be able to get the members only capabilities again?
Damn. Too much smoking and drinking. Damn. Too much smoking and drinking. Damn. So YouTube, whatever they said here, like no monetization for you, John Galt. Maybe your content is a little.
So you have to be monetized to even be able to have the members only for it as well?
Yeah, so I guess this is a good time to suggest to the audience subscribe to the Urban Landlord Clips channel. But yeah, there's that was the way the YouTube batted me down there. So we'll see how it goes.
So John, earlier during the earlier stream, which I thought was great, we kind of talked about things that the location was doing poorly and things that the business owner needs to do in accepting theft. In the gas station, in the retail world of the gas station, there's certain categories that you can't have people steal, right? Beer and wine, right?
Yeah.
Cosmetics like Advil, all that stuff, right? Because so if you look at most gas stations, the aisle directly in front of the register is going to be the medication aisle to the left or right, and the candy bars because it's high theft, And yeah, they could put some stuff behind the counter, but it's medications, beer and wine. Obviously, cigarettes are behind the counter. The juices, the waters, all the stupid stuff, a bag of Funyuns, let them steal that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's where there's certain categories that you just kind of focus on. If they're fucking around over near the Meow Mix and all that shit, you have at it. They want to steal some Brillo pads and a gallon of bleach, go for it, right? But it's the other tight margin stuff that's highly stolen. Preparation H, condoms, batteries are big ones. All of the medications, those are highly stolen.
Yeah.
Things. So for this, and yeah, it is kind of stupid. A lot of people are speaking out about emotion, like, oh, they shot the kid over like $4 in bottled water. Yeah, that's true. I get it. But from a store owner perspective, what are you doing fucking around? I mean, it can't be the Wild West. The problem with that kid is he went there at 8 o'clock Sunday night, and that's his problem. If you're going to steal, you need to go when you're busy, right? He's really in the store, Sunday night of all nights. It's ridiculous. He needs to go. He should have gone there Friday, 9, 10 o'clock at night. That's showtime. People are trying to get fucked up, and like a dummy goes in there. It's like a slow time to steal shit.
Yeah, yeah, because he was like the only one in the store.
Yeah, you got all 3 family members bone hawking on them.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, they're familiar with that kid. It isn't like They didn't have cause, you know, and the whole thing about these are the dummies that still promos are putting the pictures of. That's great. That's a classic. Well, what other option does the store owner have?
Well, you know what's so interesting about that, Master Kim, is that they used the photos against the owner. Oh, it didn't work.
It didn't work. It probably did the opposite.
Yeah.
So the jurors could see how much people are just coming in and just
yeah. You know, that is the interesting part of it. As they showed the true face of the blacks, it may have gone against the jury. They probably shouldn't have shown all the blacks going in there stealing. That's very interesting. Think about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hold on. Think about it like this, Master Kim. Blacks force everyone else to live a lie. But in the courtroom, the truth is forced out. Look at all these blacks stealing. Well, the prosecution tried to play it off like that's a negative thing to show the blacks stealing. But to people who can get on the jury, that's disgusting. And they said, damn, we got to deal with all this bullshit. Hell, they deserve to be killed. You know, it's not an irrational leap in logic to get to that point. Like, most people don't want to deal with Mr. Chow deals with.
Hey, John, do you mind if we talk about, like, let's say if the store now has all blacks working for them, can we talk about what that structure looks like, at least what I've experienced?
Yeah, what does it look like? What does it look like?
So in a cash register, everyone that's doing retail, the cash register needs to be at any given time, let's say, have 80, 70 to 120 bucks in a total, right? Because no one's cashing checks. Those days are gone, right?
Yeah.
So part of cashier training is to let the cashiers know that every single $20 bill or big dollar bill has to be shoved in an envelope and dropped into the safe, no matter what, right? With black employees, it's almost impossible to get them to pay attention to the most simplest reports. And why are they doing it? Why are they letting the 20s and the 50s and the cash stack up? You tell me. Is it because, and what we're trying to do is thin the cash register out so these dummies aren't tempted. You know, if the more you let the cash stack up, the more the bill.
I know exactly where you're coming from. Go ahead.
When I had 100%, so there are two stores I owned. One was at North Tyrone Avenue in Charlotte, and the other one was on University Drive, 2 miles away. One was predominantly white, one was predominantly black. The one closest to the University College campus was all black. They were remember I showed you pictures of the guy busting the window through just to show Newports and Black and Milds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was that station, but I struggled to have the employees drop stuff in the safe, and it was at the point that it was painful. Two, the grown men don't have cars; they're using their baby mama's cars, and depending on their relationship with the baby mama, would they have a right to work? It was just devastating. Stealing Newports, drinking Red Bull, eating King Dongs, all that. I could care less about that. It's the price. You know, when I would show up to clear out the register and drop the safe or empty out the safe, I would change the garbage behind the counter. But I would go through the garbage behind the counter because it shows how many lotto tickets that they're scratching off, because they're bored. So they're eating shit and scratching off lottery tickets, all that type of stuff, you know? So the point I'm trying to mention is that it was like pulling teeth for cash control. Absolutely pulling teeth. I don't understand why the most simplest thing, you have to make a drop. And I think what it is just that they just want to see that money stack up so that maybe they can take some or and then there's also soft theft. I'm going to steal $70 and see if Michael notices it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now they see. That's the thing. What the hell they want to see the money in the cash register stack up, other than stealing? Come on now.
That's exactly. It was just the craziest thing, and then cartons of cigarettes. You know,
Yeah.
it's almost like you have to develop a system to treat people like retards. And I hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You have to make a system. My office was directly in the back, and when people knocked on the door, I can't see to the door. I didn't have a weapon in my office with me. I had one under the counter. But yeah, it was the last employees. I told them, don't let anyone in the back room because I'm cornered like a rat in the corner. So if there's an invasion in the back office, you know, what am I going to do? Nothing, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just silly stuff.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, absolutely amazed at all of the cigarillo, swish, like candy apple red, strawberry, all of the blunt wraps. Young, old, grandpas smoking weed like no one's business. It's not a legalized state.
Hey, you know what, Mexican? I want to pitch my buddy Omar. I'm mad to bring him up on the channel again. Any of you guys that are entrepreneurial at heart, and if you're looking to open up a business, I would suggest you reach out to me, and I'll put you in contact with someone like Omar. He would run that business. You see how he went and got his bike from them niggas? He went straight up to them niggas. Master Kim, you talking about this like the motherfucking third world Muslim niggas, they hardcore.
That's right, especially the Yemenis. I know that the Yemenis are who the Arabs are afraid of. Because those guys are maybe just, not only are they Shia Muslim, most of the Arabs that we see in this country, like in the United States, are not Shia, they're Sunni, right? And the Yemenis, I believe, are Shia, so they're a whole different radical set. They're the ones that will close the store at 2 o'clock in the middle of the day. They'll take their pistol out, put it on the carpet, and they'll be doing like praying to Allah, like, and you hear them do like sounds like monkeys.
Yo, let me tell you, Mexican. So look, in Brooklyn, my house is in Brooklyn, right? There were 3 corner stores within, one on one corner, another at the other corner, and one across the street from it. So within a block, there were 3. And I swear 2 of them were owned by the same Muslim group. So one of them didn't sell beer or wine. And they would close like on whatever day they're supposed to close, Saturday or whatever. But the other one would be open. And he sold beer and wine. But they both were, the same kind of, group, Muslim, whatever. And it was like they, I don't know, maybe this person can sacrifice his values, I don't know. But they dominated, and the other one was a Dominican. So it was 3 corner stores, 2 Arabs and 1 Dominican. And they dominated that shit right there. That was again, coming from Alabama, these things are very interesting to me to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and getting back to the Arabs know how to deal with the black community, and they're tough.
Yeah.
They're very aggressive and tough, and they don't play around. And I think it has to do with the Muslim religion. They're eye for an eye. I mean, that's just.
But
no problem.
But you know what else, Miss Kim? I lived in the Bronx part-time. I had a lovely lady up in the Bronx, Bedford Parkway. The Dominicans were rough like that too.
Yes.
Like, there's some fucking gang. I can't remember. I was living in New York at the time. And I mean, these fucking Dominicans stabbed this boy like 7 ways to Sunday. And I was like, oh my God, like these are some violent ass people. Does anyone remember that when the Dominicans stabbed that boy? And I think it was the wrong person they stabbed. Does anyone remember that? It was in the Bronx. Do you remember that, Mexican?
The bodega?
Yeah, boy stabbed Bronx Dominican gang. Jesus Christ. It was some sick shit what they did to that boy. His name was Lisandro Guzman Felix. That's his name. Lisandro Jr. Do you remember this, Master Kim?
Yeah, it was at the bodega behind the counter, right?
No, fuck no. They stabbed it. Man, they killed this boy. They get this boy in the middle of the street, man. And so my lady at the time I was living in Brooklyn, and my lady was from the Bronx, and she like, John, don't fuck with them Dominicans. They don't play no games. I said, what? Who? What? What the fuck is a Dominican? I'm from Alabama. What the fuck is a Dominican? She like, the people that run the stores, the people that run the cabs, the people that run the dope, the ones you buy your weed from, don't fuck with them people. They kill your ass.
So John, I've seen, and I think it's only Dominicans and Puerto Ricans that will look at a black and right in their face use the N-word and not even flinch.
I think the Dominicans might be worse. They may be a little bit more strident toward the blacks. That's my experience. I think the Puerto Ricans are kind of down on the level with the blacks. One of my business partners is Puerto Rican.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. One of my business partners, I may have to call him one day on the train. But I don't see that same kind of, I think the Dominicans are a little different. That's just my, from what I've seen. And I remember my lady friend saying, like, yo, don't fuck with these Dominicans. Like, they will carve your ass up. Don't play a game. Like, you don't want to lose that game. And so this is the boy. I think this let me see if I can find the video. This was some sad.
Welcome back. One of the 14 men convicted in the murder of 15-year-old Junior Guzman Feliz was found dead at an upstate correctional facility where he was serving 25 years to life. The cause of death for Jonaiki Martinez Estrella is unclear.
I think this is the boy that stabbed in the streets and shit. I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
He probably didn't even know why.
Why was this 15-year-old new series True Life Crime?
Damn, I'm hoping they got a video of it.
Yeah, let's do this.
And maybe they have a video.
It couldn't anymore.
Yo, this shit was savage. Here's a video of it right here.
Well, a gang member convicted of killing 15-year-old Losandro Junior Guzman Feliz in 2018 has died at a New York correctional facility just 1 month after he was resentenced for the killing. News 12's Tim Harfman sat down with Junior's mother, who is speaking out after hearing the news.
The Department of Corrections and Community Supervision says Jonaiki Martinez Estrella was found unresponsive. Year-old was known to most. Martinez second degree.
Doesn't have no more choices, only running two ways, jail or cemetery.
There's Dominicans in the Bronx. Damn, I was hoping I could find. Let's see. Did anyone see this video?
The first-degree murder conviction of the man who struck the fatal blow to Junior Guzman Feliz has been vacated.
A judge downgrading that conviction to second-degree murder.
Wow,
saying
they downgraded it second degree.
The evidence presented against Jonaiki Martinez Estrella did not establish the specifics of the harsher charge. Martinez Estrella he's actually the guy seen on the video pushing Junior into the bodega and stabbing him during the 2018 attack.
You see this? Yo, they got video of this shit, man. They mauled it. They mauled this guy, bro. They literally mauled this guy. And it's not far from where he
was the only suspect sentenced to life without parole. The court says he must now be resentenced, which could mean 25 to life.
Look at this shit. Look at that little boy. And you can see the knives that were out. Look at the knives.
Yeah, what a doggone shame.
5 to life.
Yeah, look at this shit. This shit is amazing, bro. I know exactly what is happening.
Says he must now be resentenced, which could...
Look at that big ass knife in that man hand. Jesus Christ. Look at that big ass knife.
Which could mean...
Look at it. Did anyone see it? Did you catch it?
Which
There it is right there. That was amazing. You know, right there. Excuse me. Not far from where I was living with one of my lovely ladies, Alexia. Bedford Park right there in the Bronx. That's some wild shit, and you can see it.
Yeah. No. What was the topic of the beef or whatnot, or was it or what was the underlying back and forth fight about, or was that ever disclosed way back then?
I think I don't remember, so don't quote me, Mexican, but I think they may have made a mistake and killed the wrong man.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they may have killed the wrong man. I think that's correct because you can look at the boy, his name was Junior something. I think he may have killed the wrong man, Mexican. But they savagely murdered him. It was like some shit that Americans aren't used to that level of violence. You understand what I'm saying, Mexican?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is what when you talk about the or when you talk about like the Arabs and all those groups of people that were like, they're strong in it. They have a higher propensity for violence than the Chinese. I think the Dominicans, they're very organized. They're very business minded, but they can't get down and dirty, as you see here. And that is, I think, that balance. What you talked about yesterday when you said the Asians don't have that dog in them. It's 5,000 years of Confucianism that's been baked into the cake. The Dominicans still got that dog in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they'll get down and dirty with these fucking blacks or anybody else. You look at these look at these fucking Dominicans. Like, they still got, they haven't lost their dog. And these are the groups that are going to control the underground economy. In some ways, you could look at it like that, right, Mexican? Like the people who got the dog that can deal with the blacks and the other lower classes, they're going to control the underground economy. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, you're right. And with them having that dog in them, that shows that they're prepared at a moment's notice to fight or help a customer carry the groceries out.
Yeah.
Meaning that it's bad because the grass is green outside versus those Asians that just isn't in them. It's like they're like a bunch of retards trying to ride a unicycle to try to like bark back and be tough and shit. They don't even look the part. You know what I mean? So, not all Asians. I mean, there's some jacked up Asians that are just gangsterish and shit, but small minority, and they're shunned by the Asian community, by the way. All of the triad and all the other versions of those type of groups, they're even the shrimp boy, they're shunned by legit Asians. They are not welcomed or they're not talked about in any positive way at all.
I think Mexican, if you look at, what's his name? Rick Chow. And I said it a long time ago. Kind of when I first started streaming, it's kind of like a gangster economy, a gangster country, a strongman country. Rick Chow showed he got some strongman in it. He got some dog in it.
Yes.
He got some dog in it.
Yeah. So I stand corrected, despite I don't think he has it in his, but his deeds show he's got it in it. Obviously.
That boy got some dog in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody told him somebody was stealing. He said, shit, let me mount up and go chase down this thief. And I think that's kind of where America is evolving to. Like, you got to have a little dog in it.
I do let Tito would be coming up to set the record straight about Dominicans. Look at him dead in the face.
Yeah, I think you just gotta have a little dog in you in this country today. You know, what do you think about that? Latino Mexican.
Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective. You're right, and I was saying the opposite earlier, but you're now looking at it now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely, Mexican, jump on the panel, man. I'm gonna put this phone down. I got Latino up here. Let him talk a bit. All right. Yep. What's up, Latino?
Not much. I came up here to tell you the reason why that kid got stabbed.
What? Which kid got stabbed? Who got stabbed?
The little Spanish kid, man, the junior.
Oh yeah.
So when that was happening, I was like really into that story, right? And apparently the sister was messing with a boyfriend of hers, and I guess that the boyfriend, went on that P Diddy type of freaknik where he shared his girlfriend with the friend. You understand?
Yeah.
So when that video came out of both of these dudes smashing the sister, the guy felt some type of way. And she's like, yo, the brother asked, yo, who's this guy on the video? And she was afraid to say that it was her boyfriend. So she said it was Junior.
But wasn't that boy like 14 years old?
Yes, he was.
Jeez.
And the sister was also 14 too. Her boyfriend, I believe, was 16.
Jesus Christ. That is amazing. That is amazing.
Getting it in, bro.
Yeah,
All started because, a lie of the sister because she wouldn't say who the boyfriend was. Because they were going to go for her boyfriend, not for Junior.
Yeah, they savaged that boy, man. Like, I remember that. Yeah, I know.
A lot of people hated her for that, man.
Say what?
I said a lot of people hated her for that.
Oh, yeah, I can see that, yeah. I know exactly what it is, what it happened, yeah, I do. Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, hey, John and Latino.
What up?
I'm going to say 10 years ago, you could commit an open murder, and because the technology isn't where it is today with the iris scanning at the airport, you could commit a murder, jump JFK Airport, and be in Santo Domingo by dinner time, drinking tea and eating with grandma in Santo Domingo. Back in the day, you could do that. Now you can't because the way the technology is, you can't just quickly flee law enforcement.
Yeah, now I agree with you. Technology is making the world a lot smaller, particularly for criminals, that you can able to digitally trace them, because they're not going to leave their phone behind. Right. So they're very easily to digitally trace them. And I think that has been a boon to investigate stuff like that.
Damn. So Chow really won?
Not guilty, bro.
Damn, man, that's I still don't believe it, dude.
Shot a boy in the back of the head, chased him down. Think about it, he went he went so far that even I thought he'd be found guilty.
Same here. That's the chasing part, but then again, it's South Carolina, right?
Nah, it doesn't matter. Nah, this is what I'm saying. Like, for people to think it's some kind of state specific, it's not. Like, bro, like, this is something else. Because chasing someone down and shooting them almost, even in Florida, would almost get you found guilty. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah.
Because at any point, the prosecution kept making the point. If he just had left the store, and again, this boy didn't even steal anything. Think about it.
Oh, he didn't? I thought he stole the water or something.
No.
Then what was the whole purpose of chasing?
What is the story behind that? Because on the videotape, it shows him kind of put it in his hoodie pockets. Did he, off camera, maybe just think better of it and take them out of his pockets? Or
what it was they asked Rick Chow's son. They said, what made you think this boy was suspicious? Because he kept touching shit, didn't buy shit, he touched this, put it in his pocket, then take it back out, put it back in the cooler. So he would take a bottle of water, put it in his pocket, and then put it back in the cooler. And that is what the Chows found suspicious. Something to that effect. Don't quote me. So you saw the Chow woman saying, you got something in your pocket, but he had his gun in his pocket. So he couldn't pull his hands out of his pocket. I showed you this. So they were wrong about him stealing something, but they were right in that he had something to listen. And apparently the Chows had a sign outside of the store saying no guns allowed. But the boy brought a gun inside. So there is that. And so anyways, this is all very interesting case and very interesting that the man got off. And I think that it's more to it than self-defense. I think this is kind of a black fatigue. People are tired because even I was wrong about this. I'm like, there's no way he get off on this shit.
Yeah, hey, John.
Yeah.
You know, obviously for all those that, you know, go to Twitter or whatnot, and I know that the algorithms have something to do with it, but even if you're not looking for black people fighting and acting crazy,
yeah,
so many feeds of these black kids just being ruthless at restaurants, parking lots, on the counter at Walmart, can't return anything without. And again, these are, but it's flooded Twitter. I don't know if Twitter's purposely trying to elevate these videos, but they're all over the place on Twitter without even trying to seek them out.
You know, I think you're right. You know, Mexican, you know, one of the things I think that saved Rick Chow, for those of you in the audience that's listening, maybe you've never been on trial, you may face this consequences at some point. What saved Rick Chow is that he administered CPR to the boy. That had to be compelling testimony. Correct?
That's a great comment. You're absolutely right. I forgot about that. Yes.
Right? Because what the law takes into effect, what did the jury ask the judge? What's the definition of malice? Remember that? I covered this. The jury sent a question to the judge. Can you explain malice to us? Right? Is there everyone remember that? And so the jury had to square the definition of malice with a man who would suck the vomit out of another man's mouth. There's no way you can find malice in that. Correct? Am I wrong?
Yeah, that's correct. I forgot about all of that. Yeah, that's very heavy.
There's no fucking way you find malice in another man sucking the vomit out of another man's mouth with his own mouth. You're never gonna cross the Rubicon to find this man guilty of murder if one of the tenets of murder is malice and a forethought. Correct? Because what did the EMS worker say? She said, I've never seen this in my life, a man sucking the vomit out of another man's mouth. I wouldn't even do that, bro. Just being straight with you.
Same here, dude.
That's why they had to let that man go, Master Kim. You understand? Ain't no fucking way in hell.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's highly unusual. Yes.
The EMS said, I'd never seen this before. Right? That's what she said. She says, I was pumping his chest and the vomit was coming up out of his mouth. Chow sucked it out with his mouth, spit it out, and kept on sucking it out. You gonna convict him for that? What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way, Mexican. Anyway, so for those of you that may face using self-defense, make sure you provide aid to the victim.
Yeah,
That's
that's excellent insight. John, do you think that there's going to be a public outcry and the prosecutors are going to have to try to charge them again from a different angle or
I want to see
lesser
people's reaction.
or
They can't do it. Listen, you just had a unanimous jury. That's 12 jurors. Say
But
we don't
they'll
see
come at it like some stupid ass way, like that young kid was denied his rights.
not in South Carolina because they could.
Okay.
In South Carolina, these are elected positions. The people have spoken. You want to come back at them again? Okay, wait till election day. We're gonna get rid of you because the majority of the people, probably in a state like South Carolina, probably agree with Chow. This is the unspoken now seeping into the mainstream lexicon. You're sick of these fucking people stealing from you. It ain't shit you can do about it. People getting up on the witness stand saying, yeah, it's okay for 14-year-olds to carry a gun. Who the hell want to live like that? These people are making macro. I think this jury made a macro level decision.
Shit, man.
Forget about Chow.
John, they should have at least give him a 10 piece. He's already spent 3 years in the county, right? So he's got 3 years there. And on good behavior, he does 7. He's out. He should have at least gotten that.
And this is what I'm saying. This is the people that's saying, like, fuck that, man. Let that man go.
Yo, but
like,
look at the video I just sent you, man.
Imagine you're on the jury. You've heard his daughter was a CPA. His son was a software developer. Do you really want to separate him from his children when he been goddamn scrapping all his life dealing with these low-class ass fucking blacks? Do you really want to separate him from his children the rest of his life? Is he that much of a threat? Would you feel comfortable living next to Mr. Chow?
Oh yeah, zero problems.
Would you feel comfortable living next to Cyrus with the gun? This is the choice that people made. In my opinion, it's the urban landlord, that nigga John Galt. I showed you earlier the doctor raising hell, having a party in this affluent neighborhood. I think it comes down to something almost as simple as they don't want to live next to Cyrus. So they chose Mr. Chow. Shrimp fried rice and all.
Extra duck sauce.
Who you want to live next to, Mr. Chow or Cyrus?
Hey, John, wasn't there a video of Mr. Chow like fighting customers?
Yeah, I showed it earlier.
Yeah. That's the video I just put up in the back.
And you know what's a 14-year-old black girl. You know what's interesting? You know why the prosecution didn't show that? See, I've been on trial before. Let me ask you guys. Does anyone know why the prosecution did not show that video of Mr. Chow fighting with those blacks? Does anyone know why?
No, because it would make that boy look worse in a bad light because it's a constant thing that he's going through.
Well, that's part of it. There's something else though that you're missing. Does anyone know why the prosecution did not show Mr. Chow in there fighting with them blacks in that motherfucking store?
Because they were jumping him?
Nope. There's one reason and one reason only why the prosecution did not use that as evidence further to prosecute Chow. Can anybody think of the reason? I've already shown you the video, so can anybody think of the reason? Yay, nay? Mexican?
No, I can't. I Latino because it would show that the guy's just been constantly victimized. But I would be curious what the reason is.
Okay, let me show you this. Look. What's that right there on Mr. Child's hip?
A gun.
Okay. What's he doing right here? Is he not surrounded by black people, women?
Oh, shows that he's not. They're not deterred by a weapon.
It shows that, but it also shows that he not like a murderer. He could have killed them niggas right there. He could have pulled out his gun and said, hey, I'm surrounded by 10, 15 fucking bull mammoths. I'm about to shoot one of these niggas. But look at him brawling and never pulled out the gun. Look. This proves that he's not a murderer. Look. Look. This is Chow on the ground fighting with a bull mammoth. His store's been destroyed, trash everywhere.
Back up.
This is Rick Chow's son saying, back up, back up. He ain't talking about shoot him, dad. Shoot him, dad. That's Rick Chow right there. Surrounded by a bunch of black females fighting for his life. Any one of them could have grabbed the gun, correct? Huh?
Yes.
There's the gun. You see the gun? If he had pulled this gun right there, would you say he'd been justified? When he was down on the ground and one of them black ass bitches went for the gun, would you say he'd been justified in pulling his gun out? Look, he's all surrounded. Look, he's surrounded right there. Can he pull the gun right there? I'm asking you the question. If you on the jury, he pulled his gun right there, would you say he was justified? Let's see, yes or no question.
I think so because he has the right, because if they take his weapon and they're taking it for a reason.
Mm-hmm. And he's surrounded, right? He's down on the ground. He's in a vulnerable position, correct? But he never pulled out his gun. Is that correct? Look. Are you serious? They clearly got control of him. He's not even reaching for the gun. Is he reaching for the gun? He down on the ground again. Okay. Is it black like she might be going for the gun? He never goes for the gun. He just continues fighting. See this? He looking at it and steal the gun from his ass. Is this a fucking black right here? Hey. Get this fucking black out of here. Hey, somebody get this fucking black out of here. These fucking blacks. I mean, they always going somewhere where no one fucking wants them. They go to Sharon Bracey, Trader Truth Teller. Not for humans. But they always go somewhere. And look how they try and tell me Lisa's address. What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna go attack a woman, nigga? What are you gonna do? You gonna like what is this? Is this some kind of fucking threat? Look at this shit. You see this shit? My lovely lady Lisa. What are you saying here? You see what I'm saying, Master Kim? Why don't you put one of these fucking liquor store owners' address online? You threatening a fucking woman. Does anyone see this shit? This is why the blacks can't do business. Like, you scaring my woman off, nigga. And then you be complaining about black poverty and we don't want no businesses and shit. You scaring my woman off. You see this shit? Does anyone see this? This is fucking disgusting. What she got to do with it, nigga? Look at, is anyone on the panel here? Master Camp, Latino, does anyone see this? This is fucking disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Well, what's in the comment?
Look at this. Little Lisa's address is all online. What you gonna do to her, nigga? You gonna go attack her? Stalk her?
Come on, man. This is crazy.
This is fucking disgusting, man. These people are disgusting, man. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
If you have time, not necessarily this stream, but if you have time, if you could pull up those two pictures I sent you earlier today, there's something I want to point out that's very important.
Which one are you talking about?
Either the pictures from the front of the counter and
Oh,
the
yeah,
pictures
yeah. Let me
behind
pull
it.
it
There's
back up.
something I just noticed.
Let me put
Talked
it up.
about it earlier, but I've got a quiz for you guys now.
All right. Let me pull it up. Here it is. Here's what Master Kim is referring to. All right. Here's the front of the. Here's. You want to see this picture right here, right?
Yep, that's right. Okay, so if people could zoom in on that, guess what you don't see, and you don't know because you're not probably familiar with this retail set. But no, go to the front of the counter first, where the customer stands.
You
I'm
want to see the
sorry.
other picture? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My apologies, sir. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So to the left of the counters where you see the green crates and the blue crates, that is just a barrier to kind of keep the customers from being right up on the counter so that they can't rush in. But if you zoom in on that picture at home, what you're missing is the EBT card swipe machine. You don't see it.
Why is that?
Because they don't take EBT, and they don't take EBT for a reason.
Why?
They don't want the hoodness to come out of it. So they're missing an EBT machine because they don't want that. They don't sell Lucy's, they don't sell vapes, they don't sell all of the dick pills, they don't sell all the drug paraphernalia, they don't sell the glass dicks, or they don't sell any of that stuff because they don't want no hood rats there. So there's no EBT machine. And if you go to the back of the counter, you'll see it. Normally it's a separate Verifone, it's called a Verifone X570, and that is a standalone EBT machine. And very seldomly is it routed through the card reader for the gas station. It's called a Verifone. I forgot the name of it, but it's a standalone little EBT machine, and they don't have that with the pin pad. Because you have to, they don't have it, and that's huge. In an all-black community, they purposely have chosen not to have EBT there.
It is very interesting. I think this guy, he didn't want to dig his roots down deep in the ghetto.
Now, if I owned that store, I'd have EBT all over the place, do some fish fry. I would do everything there to get high gross margin stuff in there. And obviously a lighter that you pay 23 cents for, it's called the King Bee lighter, you pay 23 cents for. I charge $1.49 for that, knowing that every 1 out of 10 lighters is going to be stolen. So yeah, you find the areas, a bag of ice is like 200% profit margin. The little red solo cups with ice. There's tons of ways this guy could have made all kinds of money, but he did not want that hood crowd. And he needs to have that hood crowd for the gross margin. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hijack.
No, that's interesting, Master Kim, in that. Hold on 1 second. God damn. That's my fucking phone. God damn it. Is that gives the unscrupulous people an advantage over a Chinese guy who's a little bit more scrupulous. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, absolutely. This guy should have been pro-blackly black store instead of trying to be like a, just a generic shell store that could be offered in the white suburbs. He should have been catered to that area.
This is what I've said. People that call me slumlord all the time. I said, bro, if you're in the ghetto, you almost have to be a slumlord. You ever heard me say that?
Yes.
You're dealing with slum ass people, and what are you gonna do, right? I'm trying to see it. I got a picture of what you're talking about. But in my corner store here, the Indians run it, and they sell all those dick pills, Rhino, Viagra, whatever the hell. You might see it in this picture right here, Mexican. You see this?
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it right there. Look, if you zoom in, let me see if I can zoom in on this picture. Up on the glass is where you see all the dick pics, the dick shit and all that kind of shit. See if I can zoom in. But this is what you're talking about right here, Mexican, right?
Yep, along with the latest issue of Penthouse and Big Butt magazine too.
Well, they may not be selling magazines anymore, but all this shit right here is look at all this shit around the front. This is what the Chinese man does not have, right? He doesn't have any of this. He's not behind the bulletproof the way that these people are. Right, Mexican? Look.
Yep.
Look at the difference between the two.
And the Chinese guy doesn't even have the loose beers. You should have an ice tub with iced up ice houses and
yeah,
oldie 16-ounce, Magnum, Steel Reserve. All that should be iced up in a drum or a cooler right near the counter.
One day we'll have to do a stream about the I guess is anyone familiar with the term a gray market economy? Are you familiar with that, Mexican?
You'd explained it pretty well. It naturally, kind of like the informal economy of people that got like a stolen MacBook and stuff like that, or they got the book without the charger and stuff like that. Correct?
Yeah, it could be something as simple as, let me see if I can pull it up for the people. Well, this may fit the model, but it goes along with what I'm saying. The gray market economy is the trade of genuine brand name goods through unauthorized, unofficial channels. While the goods are legal and authentic, they bypass official supply chain, often through cross-border arbitrage. I ain't gonna go through arbitrage and all this shit. You have to understand it. And I guess it would be really more the black market economy. That's probably how they would describe it, right? The black market economy. Because the gray market economy, I guess you could kind of overlap it with people stealing Canada Goose coats. But the black market economy encompasses all economic activities that occur outside of what? Have mercy. That's where it all happens. That's where the magic happens, ain't it, Mexican?
Yep, that's right. Because those products and whatever they're going to take elsewhere anyway. So might as well you be there with a chunk of cash to get it, and that makes up for these young kids stealing shit.
Master Kim, let me zoom in on this so the people in the audience can read it. The black market encompasses all economic activities that occur outside of government oversight and taxation, which means that if you own a gas station and you selling a shitload of loosies, is that outside of government taxation?
Yes, sir. Isn't that the whole reason why a fat dude died in front of New York selling loosies?
Right. Now, who called the police? Who was most desirous of getting Eric Garner off the streets?
The Stoke.
And the politicians. Because they depend on the tax revenue from the tax stamp of cigarettes. Eric Garner was going to like North Carolina and shit, getting cheap cigarettes or to the casinos or Indian reservation. That undermines the state. Right, Master Kim?
Yep, well said. That's correct.
And so if you Google and search hard enough, you will find that the state sent the police after Eric Garner. They had more of an incentive than the store. Eric Garner, when he run out, he gonna go in the store and buy a pack of cigarettes, make a deal, cut a deal with the store. Right, Master Kim? Am I wrong about that?
That you're absolutely right, and it's very interesting. I guess I kind of forgot he was like doing his own thing, selling Lucy. That's pretty creative. I mean, you know, to like set up shop right in the parking lot of a store and just sell Lucy. That's awesome.
Well, the people thought that the store would find him more offensive than the state. But the problem is, let me give you this example, Master Kim. Today is the 1st of the month. I go in the corner store, I want some Cheetos, a 6-pack of beer, and a Lucy. But I don't have enough money to pay for that. But it's the 1st of the month, so what I got? EBT, right?
Yep.
Couldn't the store owner figure out a way to massage that through the EBT?
Yes, he
to
can.
train you up for a few bags of chips, right? He could do that. It's illegal, but he could do that, right, Master Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
And that is the black market, or the gray market, or whatever the hell, informal market economy, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's informal economy. That you can't value that. And remember how you were saying how like you have the golden handcuffs and that you have a business that's worth money, but a lot of it, no one's going to pay you for it.
Correct.
Right? And so I guess the better term for it actually is the shadow economy. The informal or shadow economy. Anyone ever heard it? You ever heard the term before, Mexican? The shadow economy?
No, certain variations of it, but no, please continue.
The shadow economy encompasses all economic activities such as street vending, domestic work, gig work that operate outside again of government regulation, taxation, and monitoring. Ooh, that's what the sweet spot is. Right? What did I tell you about Facebook versus Airbnb? What did I tell you? I said Facebook allows landlords like me, John Galt, to get around what? Fair housing laws. This is the informal economy John Galt is explaining to you. The low IQ blacks, hopefully they all gone. But for everyone else, you should be able to understand now. This is why I keep talking about it. Like Facebook is a real serious threat to the bad reputation of blacks because it operates outside of government regulation and monitoring. Is it now making sense to you niggas? Huh? Maybe not. Another stream, another day, we try to figure it out again. Does this
John,
make sense to you, Messi?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's one thing I wanted to throw in there, just kind of to balance it out. So, at a certain point in time, someone needs to kind of migrate over from the shadow economy to the legit economy for various reasons. And I'm going to use COVID as just an example. Historically, a lot of Indians and Koreans kind of like keep two sets of books. The sales that they report to the government and then the real amount, and they try to lessen the tax burden, right? So they never report all of the gross sales. Well, when COVID hit, that came back to haunt all of these little cash bullshit little businesses that are just solely in the gray economy because you did not have the financials to go beg the money for all of the COVID relief. And that's a perfect example, right? Post COVID, banks don't want to fuck with anyone unless they got real financials, right? So if you're in this little gray area or, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you're invisible to the banks. And I'm just using that as an example.
No, that's
With me
very
and my
true.
businesses and my family business, we didn't take one penny from the COVID, not one for the payment protection,
Me
all that
either.
bullshit. We never applied for it. We never took it. And a lot of it is we were dubious about that. We were dubious
Yeah.
about it.
You know, I was the same way, Master Kim. It's some bullshit. Free money? Get the fuck out
Plus,
of here.
it's public information. I don't want no one knowing my business,
For
you know.
real. I'm like,
But
I like,
and very few Asians took advantage of it. And it isn't that they didn't need the money; it's distrust of the government. You know, you're right.
yeah.
What I don't need, you know, a lot of these people are catching cases now because they
Hell yeah.
overinflated
Hell yeah. They're going
their
to
labor.
prison, bro.
Yeah, they're going to prison, and it's
Man, bro, I never even considered that shit. When I read this shit, I'm like, this shit is a setup, bro. Like, I never fuck with it. Never, not one. Fuck that. I knew it was a scam.
Now, and if I'm not mistaken, it was kind of a first come, first serve. If you look at the public information, there are all of the, and I hate to say it because it sounds racist, but a lot of the astute white companies, you know, that got a board of directors, they had their CPA. I mean, these people filed, right? I mean, they legally did it. They didn't fudge any numbers, but they got the lion's share of all that money because they've got their CPA and their accounting lawyers on standby.
You gotta have
You
your
know,
paperwork right
yeah,
to deal with the government.
and they probably already had insight. You know, these higher end accounting firms, they already have insight of what you know, the government are planning or what they're lobbying to put together. So they've already had all their paperwork legit right out the gate.
Let me break it
That's
down what
huge.
Master Kim is saying. There's what's the term? It's like you know, like barriers to entry, I guess you could say it. Like, if you want to do business with the government, you got to have some capital to apply for the grant, apply for the contract, wait for them. You got people on staff, staffed up, waiting for them to approve or deny your contract. Hopefully you're going to get it. And then you ramp up. That requires a lot of capital. And damn, I'm drunk. I forget where I was going here. But I think that you know, in that whole COVID shit, the big companies were able to take advantage of it, whereas people, the smaller companies or smaller people, really just scammers. They were easily to identify, and whereas the big companies, they could go through the whole rigmarole with the government processes and all that shit. Whereas a lot of these people, and I don't know this to be for sure, but I would imagine that the government is probably catching a lot of these COVID people and just more or less paperwork. They didn't have all their paperwork correct. I'm sure they misspent the money as well, but you have to have your I's dotted and T's crossed with the government. Would you say that's fair?
Oh yeah, and there are people catching some serious cases now,
Yeah.
and it's a doggone shame. And you're right, and it's a majority of the people that are catching serious cases are African Americans because they completely fabricated the business name, the business this, the business that. You know, to do any crime, you have to have some elements of legitimacy so that you're only fudging 20 to 30%, not 100%. You know, so that's why the Arabs and Indians and even Koreans do swimmingly well committing crimes because they intermix it into legal activities and legal cash flows.
Yeah. Master Kim, did you hear my my business partner talking to me today? I had a good talk with her.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to play a little bit of it, at least the beginning for the audience. Let me know if you can hear this, Master Kim. The beginning is really the most important part. Here's what she says.
Not be real.
What you mean?
And you know,
I don't get what you're saying though.
I mean, you have to say to yourself when you believe it.
Say what?
But experience will teach you some things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why I try, you know, I really do try to listen to you. I do try to listen to you.
It's rough talk though.
It is. It's a hard listen. It's a hard listen. But you have to be honest with yourself about it. Even if there's times when I say, "Look, I don't want to hear it," because it's a hard listen. But it's not because I don't believe nothing you're saying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's now I will give you that much credit. As long as I've been knowing you, you've been able to take it. But many blacks, but you've been around ghetto ass blacks and shit like that. So what I'm saying to you, you can't deny
Shit,
it.
I am one of them. I am one of them. Okay.
And Master Kim, they don't know the value of the partner that they have. Honestly, Master Kim, you know what I'm saying? They really don't know the value of a partner that they have. And someone like me that's willing to deal with all these ghetto ass blacks and able to more or less extract like predatory income off these blacks. I'm allowing the Lisas and the Ebonies of the world, that's my business partners. How would you say this? To have entree, to feed on the carcass of the blacks where the gross profit margins are high because they don't have any other options. They get to ride on my back. You understand what I'm saying, Mexican? They're not willing to come over here and deal with these fucking blacks. They get to ride on my back, though. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, you're dealing in a very niche market, but also a severely underserved market, and that's the key thing right there. It's underserved. If not you, who? What's Plan B?
Yeah. And like the blacks love talking about drug deals and shit. I'm like, well, I'm the only nigga out here on the block. And the man that's willing to get out here on the block is the one that's gonna make some money. That's how it works, right, Mexican? That's how it works. And if you gotta be willing to get out there on the streets. The Lisas, the Ebonies, they get to get out on the streets by proxy of me. Does that make sense? The witch doctors, the Izzy bands, they're not coming down here on fucking street with a nigga like John Rock. They're not gonna do that. They can't come out. Like, you think you come around, walk around here like Izzy bands with your Versace glasses on? What do you think would happen if Izzy bands came around here with his fucking Versace shades and shit on?
It'd be like those kids in like Peru, that kind of gang rush. Someone take their glasses, like they're like piranhas. Yeah, they'll
Hey,
rush them.
bitch, give me them glasses.
Yeah.
Izzy ain't trying to lose your life on no fucking glasses, right?
Yeah, and then that's not to say that Izzy can't fight or whatnot.
No, I'm not saying he can't fight, but it ain't worth it for Izzy.
But when there's 12 hyenas that come at you at once, I mean, look at Mr. Chow. All them women coming at him, he couldn't handle 6 of them with all them braids slapping back and forth and all the screaming.
Basically, I move amongst these ghetto ass niggas like they don't even think about robbing me. For what? Look at me. Look how I look at you. Who gonna rob me? Right? Who the fuck gonna rob me? Look at me. Fucking unshaven, fucking head on. Who the fuck gonna rob me? I move amongst these niggas.
Because low IQ and they're falling for the okey doke. You take that to Sam's Club parking lot, you'll be robbed in a heartbeat. Meaning people don't fall for the okey doke wherever higher IQs are. They know that a lot of wealthy people, go around trying to look as average as possible to not attract any attention for safety, but also you don't want to attract any attention from the IRS. And that's a huge part of very successful cash flowing people. They want to stay off the radar. They don't want to be buying a brand new Mercedes. They don't want to be doing anything to attract any additional attention.
Right, think about these Mexicans. You know how many blacks ridicule me for riding the bike? Nigga, my bike a BMW cow cough. If the dumbass fucking blacks knew anything, they would say, well, damn, that boy right here, a BMW bike. Fuck stealing the bike, we're gonna rob him. How many blacks around here you think got a BMW bike for cow cough? I can ride the BMW bike around here because they look at the bike as like a poor man's mode of transportation. They never think of robbing me. I ain't ever been robbed. Yeah, I walk around here, pocket full of money. No, knock on wood here. No one fucking robs me. But Angry Man, he says, hey, I had to spend my whole life working trying to get away from the ghetto. And part of that is because he lives a flamboyant lifestyle. I'm a very simple guy. So I can fool amongst these ghetto ass blacks, and they don't even think twice about robbing me. And, I think that has been part of the key to my success, to be honest with you, Master.
John, can I add a comment?
Yeah.
So let's say that Angry Man and even Izzy, right? To live a nice lifestyle, there's nothing wrong with that, right? To buy nice things and to be living a certain lifestyle. Now I'm going to hit the stop button. However, if you're in a business where you're clocking some duckies, you need to do the reverse and tone that lifestyle down because you need to guard that cash flow, you know? So that's why most people can ball out and try to look a certain people that really got money. They're driving around in these little Toyota minivans with 300,000 miles on it because they don't want that level of attention because they don't want their cash flow to be interrupted. They don't want danger and all that stuff. So I guess I was just simply saying that there's to live the American consumerism life. It's a great life, you know. However, it does interfere with serious business, in my opinion, and what you're trying to convey.
I think this Mexican, you hear me all the time say, hey, get the blacks the fuck out of here, right? You hear me say that all the time.
Yes.
And then you hear me go into some software stuff where, the blacks just ain't even capable of comprehending anyway. And I think that's, kind of, like in the private sector market, I don't know if the blacks just are capable of the easy bands and shit like that. They're not capable. They go live in areas like Hoover, where Izzy Bands live, and all it does is force them to have to work harder. What was it like? The output per whatever dollar made for Izzy Bands to stay in Hoover, he got to beg a whole lot harder than if he lived in the ghetto. But he can't live in the ghetto because the blacks are so unruly. And that's kind of the problem that the Izzy Bands in the world face versus, say, a Be Brave. Be Brave can live in a poor white town. Extreme. Izzy can't live in a poor ghetto town like I can because he has to project an image to his audience. And so he puffs out his chest when he says, I live in Hoover, which is a white area. And so I think that's kind of the difference. I don't know if I answered your question. I'm a little drunk, Master Kim. So.
Yeah, John. So then I think the question becomes, if someone wants to run away to a nice gated community or suburb, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Now, if that same person is saying, "Hey, I'm raw and I'm known as this or that, or I'm real, I'm street or whatever," then it's kind of comical because, and I don't think that's what Izzy is saying or whatnot. But the question becomes, I can't blame anyone. Doesn't matter what color they are for running away and wanting peace and safety for themselves and the kids. Because you can't. I mean, based on what I'm seeing online, you have to be real choosy where you take your wife and kids out to dinner without something popping off.
But again, like as I said, Master Kim, I was a pretty if you were to measure me as a software developer, I wasn't chopped liver. I wasn't like the first guy coming off the bench, you're like starting the game, but I was coming off the bench getting quality time. If you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And I think a lot of the blacks are not even worthy of coming off the bench other than in garbage time. But their ego and shit like this from their titles and things like that have been bestowed upon them has really outflated where they really stand. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Because most blacks in America do not operate in meritocracies. You work in a meritocracy. Would you say it's fair?
Yes. However, I would say our age group up is meritocracy because we grew up in the 80s and whatnot. But the younger people, I'm going to say no, they don't understand meritocracy to a degree.
Well, like what I say about meritocracy, I'm kind of getting back to revenue versus cost side, right?
Yes.
On the revenue side, that shit is more meritocratic than on the cost side. Would you say it's fair? It's more soft skills on the cost side versus on the revenue side, the income side.
Okay.
Would you say it's fair?
Okay. Could you please repeat that again, John? I'm sorry.
On the revenue side, damn, I'm a little drunk, Mexican. On the revenue side, it's more meritocratic than on the cost side. Would you say it's fair?
Yes.
You can implement DEI on the cost side,
Cost side, correct.
but not on the revenue side.
Correct.
Because that's where you're interfacing with the customers. Correct?
Correct. Correct.
And where you interface with the customers, DEI doesn't work.
It's almost anti-business. DI is anti-business. It's not free market.
That's right. So you stuff your DEI on the cost side, correct?
Yes.
And so when times get tough, what do you do when you're trying to make your business more profitable? Which side are you going to cut? Sales or the cost side of the business?
You do both at the same time. You cut cost and increase revenue.
But which
So,
side are you? But if you got
cost side.
if you got $100 to cut, and you got someone on the cost side versus someone on the revenue side, which side do you cut? The
You
cost
lean out on
side.
the cost side.
The cost side, correct?
Correct.
And so what I am surmising, that I almost called you Be Brave, is that I don't think blacks have a position on the revenue side. It's shrinking. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's a very good analogy, by the way. To break it down like that. John, can I add one more comment? What if, and I'm just using Izzy's just an example for this conversation because the name was mentioned, but the Izzy's and the Angry Men or just anyone that kind of escapes hood life out to the suburbs are almost the equivalent of a refugee, right?
Yeah,
And
that's true.
the golden question becomes, does someone that escaped some shithole in Islamabad, India, is he obligated to go back with his fancy pants degree and money and turn things around in Islamabad, India? I'm going to say, although it logically makes sense, no one does it. Hold on
Well,
one
here's
second.
the thing. And again, I keep equating it to sports for the blacks. If any one of these fucking blacks in all this, throw their ass out and let them listen. Master Kim, you could be a first string. Let me play this for you. I want to see if you get this. I want to see if you get this, Master Kim. This is my nigga too. All right. Hold on. Let me see if you get this, Master Kim. Hold on. I gotta find it. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up here, Master Kim. All right. Give me 1 second. Master Kim, I'm pulling it up here. I want you to comment on this here. And this is jeez. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find it. Give me 1 second. I got so much shit on the Twitter, so much dope on the Twitter. You guys got to follow me on Twitter. But here's what I want to share with you. Yeah, let me just search for it. Fuck. And I want you to comment on this, Master Kim. Oh, I found it, Master Kim. You ready for this? Master Kim, I want you to comment on this. Stop sharing. Start sharing. I want you to comment on this. Master Kim, are you a sports fan at all? Master Kim, are you a sports fan at all? Master Kim may have stepped off. Anyway, here is Tom Brady. And I want you to listen closely to what he's saying here. Listen.
Learned this, again, over a period of years, but there's 53 guys on the active roster. And there's now 15 guys on the practice squad. So there's 68 players. But those practice squad players are important because if anybody on the active roster gets hurt, they can get elevated to the squad. Well, there was times where these 15 guys would do really well in practice. And they'd be practicing and you'd be like a scout team receiver. And I saw this happen a lot. These scout team receivers would come in and practice with, the scout team. And they do really well. And I'd be watching. I'm like, man, we got to get that guy. Like, let's get him up on offense. He's making a lot of plays. That's Darrelle Revis he's getting open on. Like, we got to do something. Then all of a sudden, we're like, hey, man, you're doing really well. You got to come over here and deal with the pressure of succeeding now that you have expectation. And these guys are like, they weren't prepared for it. So whatever we saw in practice against where there was not a lot of pressure, now, when they're put in a situation where there's an expectation for performance, they've never had to personally deal with that. And then they fail. And then what I realized was a lot of guys in those practice squads, they don't want to be elevated to the roster. They're very happy living this life where they could tell their family and friends, which I had no problem with that. Like, there's no problem. Like, you would just assume, though, that if you're on the practice squad, you'd want to be at the top.
My nigga, Tom Brady. Y'all niggas don't understand what the fuck he's saying, y'all. These fucking low IQ blacks. This man is saying, look, you want to be on the B team, you want to come in, it's scrub time. Just be honest with yourself. You scrub.
Learned this, again, over a period of years, but there's 53 guys on the active roster. And there's now 15 guys on the practice squad. So there's 68 players. But those practice squad players are important because if anybody on the active roster gets hurt, they can get elevated to the squad. Well, there was times where these 15 guys would do really well in practice. And they
practice when there's no stress. They're pressure burst pipes. These people don't want that pressure. This is what Tom Brady's saying. He want that pressure.
They'd be practicing and you'd be like a scout team receiver. And I saw this happen a lot. These scout team receivers would come in and practice with, the scout team. And they do really well. And I'd be watching. I'm like, man, we got to get that guy. Like, let's get him up on offense. He's making a lot of plays. That's Darrelle Revis he's getting open on. Like, we got to do something. Then all of a sudden, we're like, hey, man, you're doing really well. You got to come over here and deal with the pressure of succeeding now that you have expectation. And these guys are like, they weren't prepared for it. So whatever we saw in practice against where there was not a lot of pressure, now when they're put in a situation where there's an expectation for performance, they've never had to personally deal with that. And then they fail. And then what I realized was a lot of guys in those practice squads, they don't want to be elevated to the roster. They're very happy living this life where they could tell their family and
nigga, I done tell y'all so many stories. I don't even gotta go through this shit anymore. Richard, he's in the audience. He know what the fuck is going on here. The blacks, they probably hate to hear this shit. Gold or not for humans, blacks. Cry about racism is shit. But I am Jungle, and I bring it to you.
You know what, Jungle? I gotta hand it to you. This is Rip Roaring Real.
Yeah, it's very true. I'll bring it. Before I do want to know, what did you guys think about the earlier stream? We had Brave, we had Master Kim, we had some on the street shit that no one else has footage of other than me, Jungle. This is some raw shit. What did you guys think about the earlier stream? What did you guys think about the earlier stream? I think we put on again another masterpiece. My nigga be brave. That's my man right there. Yeah. Did anyone see the earlier stream, by the way? Yeah, I love doing streams with Brave. That's my nigga. I want to call my buddy Philippe. Hold on, let me call my buddy Philippe. Maybe I call that fucking lying ass nigga. Maybe I call you lying ass nigga. Let's see. I'm gonna call liquor store owner. I'm gonna call liquor store owner. That's what I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call liquor store owner. Let's see. Yeah.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Hey, boss, how's it going, man?
Oh man. You on my channel, man. Yo, bro, I would love to come do it like a live interview with you, like have you on my where people could see you, man. Yeah, I'm really impressed by you, guy. You tell me you live like an hour away, but you come here to work at the liquor store?
Yeah.
Yo, what's the craziest shit you seen at the liquor store so far?
Craziest thing I've seen at the liquor store so
Yeah.
far? It's been about a year, and I feel like it's hard to decide what the craziest was.
Yeah, what the craziest you seen?
Things have gone on. We've had people steal, call the cops on us for telling them not to steal.
No shit. The motherfucker be what they stealing there? All the liquor behind the counter.
Yeah, it's the wines, man.
The wine?
Yeah, like the $10 wines, which is, I don't get it, but hey. Luckily, it's been down. It's been going down now, but it's always crazy when something like that happens.
Man, you need to hire me, man. I stop all the fucking niggas from stealing. Not all of them, but
I'll put in a good word for you.
Hey, but man, I am very interested in like how you run the business. It's very interesting to me. I've been doing business over in the ghetto for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. I do basically like the day-to-day kind of like the operations of the place.
Yeah.
And finances that's taken care of by my dad.
Wait a minute. So how does it work? So you and your father, y'all are kind of like y'all run the liquor store together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I do all the ordering and everything. I am given budgets, right? Where we can come to a agreement on a budget, and then we kind of try to maintain that.
Yeah.
And then there's always bills and stuff that need to go out. So,
hey, is the shit pretty profitable? Like, is it pretty profitable dealing with the black side? I imagine there are a lot of
profitable. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Overall, DC, the alcohol business has gone down drastically. Some report up to like 25-30%.
But the niggas in Southeast ain't gonna stop drinking now. Come on now. Them niggas ain't stop drinking over there in Southeast. I ain't stopped drinking. I know the other niggas ain't stopped drinking.
See, that's not the issue. It's not that people aren't drinking. It's that people are going for the more economical option.
Oh.
Somebody 5 years ago would have gone for a Don Julio,
Mm-hmm.
$35 bottle.
Mm-hmm.
They'd rather go now for like an Espolón or something that's still good, but like more reasonable.
Yeah, I'm drinking that Blanco now. I used to drink that Don Julio with that shit, with that brown shit.
The Reposado?
Yeah, I drink that Reposado. Now I'm on that fucking Blanco. Goddamn it, is a recession at this bitch.
Yeah, man, it's a little. Everybody's still drinking, but the choice of drink is changed.
Yeah.
Even
Hey, let me ask you this question. I don't mean to cut you off, man.
No worries.
What do you think about these fucking bull mammoths that come into the store? These some fucking ugly ass women that come in that motherfucking store. Now, you gotta be honest. These some ugly ass women that come in the store, in that liquor store. Have mercy.
You gonna have to repeat that. You're breaking up a little.
These fucking ugly ass women that come in the liquor store. You gotta be honest. They are some ugly ass women.
I don't. I think everybody's beautiful.
Everybody beautiful. Are they less beautiful than everybody else? Come on, let's be honest. You're on my stream, bro.
Everybody's beautiful. Everybody's beautiful.
But these are some not so beautiful motherfuckers that come in your liquor store, ain't they?
And I would say some of the lookers, you get tired of them because they don't got much behind the looks. You know what I mean? So.
But hey, have you noticed though? I want to know. You know, I'm drinking on your tequila from your store, so I'm a little drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed a lot of the women over there that come in your liquor store are ugly?
You have to say that again.
Have you noticed that a lot of the women that come in your liquor store are ugly as hell?
The women that come to my liquor store are what?
Ugly as hell. Ugly. UGLY.
Maybe it's just the timeline that you on, but we have some beautiful, beautiful women that come in.
Really? You ever slept? You ever slept with any of them? You ever slept with any of them?
We are strictly there for business.
So you say what you say to me now is there's some beautiful sister gals that come in your liquor store.
Yeah, man, you gotta resist. You ain't a strong man if you're gonna let a bot take you over with just words. Come on now.
Man, listen. I've been to your liquor store a million times. I ain't seen a beautiful sister in that motherfucker one time.
Hey man, you gotta change with the times.
What time do I need to come in there and see the sister gal, to see the pretty sister gals? What time do I need to come see the pretty sister gals?
Hey man, Thursday through Saturday, anytime between 6 and closing.
That's when the pretty ass sister gals be there.
Hey man, that's just when everybody goes out, and amongst them are beautiful women. I'll say that.
Sister gals. Hey, you know, I live around the corner from your liquor store. You know that, right?
If you're saying that, I can't hear you. It completely cut out.
I live around the corner from your liquor store. You know that, right?
You live around? Yeah, I think you told me that. You live nearby. Right?
Hey, would you be willing to come in my studio and sit down and have an interview with me?
I would love to do that, but for me right now, the hardest thing is timing.
Whenever you want to do it, man. Whenever you want to do it, look, I'll pay you for your time. I would love, this is my interest. I'll pay you for your time, honestly.
Well, I understand. It's not even that. I would do it for free. It's just that since I'm still doing school, I'm doing summer classes. So from literally 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock, I got school. And then after that, I got to come to the store. I got to lock in there.
Yeah.
The only thing is I get off once a week. And I just want to sleep that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. My man, my nigga, I ain't mean to call you, but you know, I'm a real honest nigga. You see me come here, and so I call you my nigga, right? You a good nigga with me, boy. You handle your business in there. Look, so I would tip my head. Hey, what kind of car you drive? Is that your Tesla or something in the front?
No, I would never get a Tesla. We burn fossils.
What you got? Is that a Mercedes or what's that ride you ride in front?
This is my I have a E350.
My nigga, my man. Hey man, you had to come into the studio. I'm right around the corner, man. My audience would love to hear from you, man. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of questions for you. You hear me?
I got you, boss.
All right, my man. All right.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right. Am I not that nigga Jungle? Do I not bring you that dope all day, every day? All day, every day. Let me put the link in the chat. Anyone want to come up, man? ask questions, feel free. I bring it up all day, every day. Whenever I come up, you know, it's gonna be some wild shit. The nigga that just we talked to, his name is Taj. Nigga Indian. Like, y'all niggas that like can't complete the circle, the low IQ. The mods, put these fucking low IQ blacks out of here. They can't complete the circle. What did Master Kim say? You gotta be hardcore to deal with these blacks. This is a hardcore fucking Indian. You just heard that. Hood nigga, Indian. He gonna come, he wanna come into the studio over here. Hardcore Indian. Validating what Master Kim has been saying. No one else can bring that dope like that. It's a liquor store owner at the intersection of Martin and Malcolm. You just heard him talk to you. I am. That nigga Jungle bringing that dope. Right? What did she say?
You know what, Jungle? I gotta hand it to you. This is big raw and real.
Big raw and real. It is very true. Anyway, guys, anyone want to come up on the panel? Let me take this down. Anyone want to come up on the panel? There's the link. Say, oh, what? Oh. You know, someone texted me that. And they were like, John, you got like 2,000 subscribers now. I didn't respond. I was like, man, okay. And someone said, well, you're not going to do it like one of these fucking birthday fucking streams that these people do. Like, bro, my message is so bigger than 2,000 people. I can't even acknowledge that. I'm saying, it shit don't mean shit to me. It means nothing to me. I feel like my message is bigger than that. I got dope. The fuck I want to say. Nigga, I feel like my dope will overdose 2,000 people. I need 100. Nigga, somebody in the last time said, Angry Man ain't got no dope like Jungle. I feel like my dope will overdose 2,000. I need 10,000. So it's not to overdose these niggas. So I believe. So I don't even keep up with the numbers. 2,000, whatever. Okay, that's great. It's beautiful. But Brave and I, me and Be Brave, nigga, we pushing the envelope on these bitches. I don't think anyone else can push the envelope like Be Brave and I. I truly believe that. Like, I literally, truly believe that no one else is gonna push the envelope. And what the fuck I'm talking about is, like, nigga, we introduce terms into the lexicon that you'll go around other panels and they'll be talking about the shit. They'll be like, Witch Doctor. I got a clip of Witch Doctor. He said, John, what is a Boer amendment? I'm not asking anything about what the fuck he talked about on his panels. He talks about what the fuck we talk about on our panels. Because we're brave, John. We are leading the thought. And the other people, in my opinion, are just following behind. They're followers. They can't lead the thought here. And so that's how I kind of see it. So, 2,000 shit. I think I showed you earlier, Andre Williams, he got many more subscribers than me, but he ain't got no dope like this. And I ain't hating on him. But he know how to dope like this. Like, he's TikTok videos reacting to this shit, this or that. But, I feel like I got some dope. And I don't feel like I have to do what the rest of these people do. Those are my thoughts. Anyway, let me know what you think. Somebody said nightshade. I ain't heard the term in a minute. Did I come up with that? Did I come up with the nightshade? It sounds like somebody did come up with the nightshade. Yo, for those of you that didn't see the earlier stream, I'll show you this. This is from the earlier stream today. I was in Southeast DC. And for those of you that didn't see the earlier stream, this is John Galton. Is that what I'm on my BMW bike right here? Yeah. I have that nigga on my BMW. I gotta floss my bike. Yeah. Niggas are gonna hate. But I do have to floss the bike. What's that right there, nigga? BMW bike. See that nigga? BMW bike. Jungle on the bike. And so anyway, so
We are the problem. We can't talk about it. I mean, I can't do nothing. I done helped her several times. When we gone, she will still be here. As long as she wake up. As long as she close her eyes for good. We just got to keep her in prayer. That's all we got to do is keep her in prayer. You know what I'm saying? Somebody don't got it. Listen to me. You know that, right?
Yeah, you need to call an ambulance.
You know that, right? You know that, right? They out here. They gonna see out here.
No, you need to at least give her a damn blanket or something.
You want a blanket right here.
Where?
That blue one right here.
Somebody get that blanket and put it over the damn lady. Huh?
She gonna do the same thing she do.
You want me to get the blanket and put it over the damn lady?
There you go. She do this every day.
Oh, give me a blanket. I'll put it over there. That's it. Like you said, there's somebody grown.
She here. We care. Is she here? You get yourself up. You stop that. Don't listen to me. Everybody listen. You know what you're going. Get yourself up. Come on now. She wanna die out here.
y'all niggas heard that? I am the nigga. I bring this shit. What?
You know what, Jungle? I gotta hand it to you. This is Rip Warrenville.
I am the nigga. I am the nigga. I am the nigga. This is Jungle. Bring it to you very raw. For the blacks, they probably have a very difficult time watching this.
How you think that?
Because people, it's a sin to kill yourself.
Well, listen.
Everybody listen. You know what you're going. Get yourself up. Come on now. She wanna die out here.
Why you think?
She want to die here. You see the woman? Look at the lady. I am that nigga Jungle. And I want to bring you guys to one of the clips I think that really brings it all home for you. Is this right here. I think this brings it all home for you. I think this will bring it all home. Give me 1 second. Let me see. I can find it here. Let me see if I can find it here. Young Galt, a nigga that need no thumbnails. Straight dope. This may be it. One of many, and we'll see if this is it.
Gain. In fact, one could argue he's going to have a net loss if some of his, I guess supporters or some endorsements. And
You think so?
And then again,
Yeah, that's not it. Wait a minute. Fuck. Fuck. It's right here. I think it's it right here. I'm about halfway fucked up. I think this is it right here. Although there's so many clips, I could be wrong. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Urban Landlord Clips, you should, because that is where we drop a lot of clips that don't show up on the main channel. And here is one of the clips. What the fuck is it? What is it? What he said? Oh, but I'll Google this. What? Maybe it's not there either. What? 1 second. All right, here it is. This is yeah.
And they cannot stand masculinity. So if you're a man who represents masculinity, especially a black man, you're not gonna get no type.
All the people up here on the panel said that they don't make any money from black people. Now I'm drawing it full circle to show that I would bet that most of the black people up here on the panel don't spend a lot of money with black people other than super chats and Venmo and cash.
You think that you're supposed to get a goddamn cookie because you paid some black boys to shovel your damn snow. For most of us, that's just some normal shit. You may have paid somebody black to do this. You may have paid somebody Latin to do this. Nobody's keeping score but your black ass. And what I find interesting is it's always a super dark-skinned nigga like you.
Angry Man went on quite a rant last night. He was complaining that he's not a multi-millionaire. He's saying that if you were limp-wristed or if you wasn't black, there would be a space for a black or a conservative to become a millionaire. But he's saying he's not a millionaire, and I took it as a frustration with Boyd. He fell out with his fellow partner, Izzy Bands, and so and
if nobody else is gonna fight for my value and my worth, I'm gonna fight for my value and my worth. I'm not gonna sit around and pretend like I'm not being snubbed. I'm not gonna sit around and pretend like people aren't purposely keeping me out of certain conversations. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's not going on, because it goes on all the time. All the time. All the time. I could pull up a video of Ron Perlman.
Who got more dope, John Galt or Angry Man? Let's be honest. Who got more dope, John Galt or the Angry Man? Nigga, I tried to schedule a show with Master Kim, and then I bumped into some content that I had to bump Master Kim today. And Master Kim got the dope. You see what someone like an Angry Man is talking about, you got no dope. You see here, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z. This is a conservative black man. Kendrick Lamar, well, Jay-Z, saying my name will give you my fame. Modern women, these boys will never grow up. Have we become racist? Kendrick never won. This is black conservatism. It's all fake. You can see it here. Anyway, what should I say here? During the debate on. It's true. Anyone want to come up? You know what? I would love for some of these lovely ladies. I think Be Brave and I are really making headway with the ladies, particularly the black ladies. In particular, I have a video I'll play about that. Let me see. Maybe I'll play this one. Yeah, this one. You really have to subscribe to both channels here. Sometimes it's on one channel, another time it's on another. You never know. And maybe it's on this channel here. Let's see. Oh, you know, I know how to find it. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. What was it? I wanted to play this for real. Damn. Fuck. Fuck, I can't find it. What the fuck? Is it on the other channel? Where is it? Let's see. Give me 1 minute. I want to find it. I want to play this so bad in here. Damn. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is it here? Oh, I found it. All right, here we go.
trying to figure out why it's acceptable for a black woman to only wash her hair maybe once a week, but not acceptable for a white man to only wash his hair like once a week. Like, what's the deal here?
There's a big difference in black and white people. Do you not agree with that? In our hair. You agree or you don't agree? Which one?
Not real.
Not really.
Hair is hair.
No, hair is not hair. You know hair is not hair. We all know hair is not hair. So I mentioned that and different people, do it differently, right? But white people, you do normally have oily hair. So that's why you don't wash it today. The women that not gonna have curls and fluffiness, right? So they go and they wash their hair. They're washing the oils out. But black women, right? And only those with different type of hair, and we do have different type of hair as well, even between us. But we need oil in our hair. Therefore, we will not wash it out. We will not wash our hair.
For like a week, right?
Yeah, I mean, the ones who washing their hair every week, right? You could probably tell, right? It's thin. It'll be thin.
I
have a full hair. And
Bottom cherry, didn't they add oil to their hair too, right?
Talk, man, will you let her talk? And then you guys go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just asking her a question.
I didn't ask you what you had, goddamn. Just let her talk, then you can respond. Go ahead.
Okay. What was his question? He asked something.
See, he forgot now because you interrupted her talk, man. What? That was a bomb cherry, and here's the continuation. Listen. People want to know.
No, because I get text.
You don't want to tell us how that stanky head got past you, bro. Come on. People want to know.
No, because I gotta run and do a couple things. I was just calling you to invite you to this thing.
It's tonight,
but I'll
tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I'll shoot you a text. I'll shoot you. Are you in DC?
Yeah. Where is it at?
At the Waldorf Astoria.
Ooh, the old Trump Hotel.
Oh, the Waldorf.
Yeah.
I'm doing it big. Doing it big.
There's gonna be some sisters down there. I love the sisters. You said it'd be a bunch of nickels at that motherfucker. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, last time I was there.
I might try to make my
But
way at that motherfucker. All right. Man, you gotta tell me about that stanky head though, bro, because niggas want to know how the hell did that stanky head slip up in your bed? How did that stanky head
next time I call in.
How did that stanky head?
Yeah, next time
all right.
Next time I call in, I'll yeah, definitely. Next time I call in, I'll shoot you. I'll text you the details.
All right, my man. All right. How did this stanky head get in his bed? That was the question that Stanley had for him. He said, "How that nigga get a stanky head in his bed?" Ain't that what he said, HB?
How'd it happen and how was it?
I didn't hear that part. I didn't hear that.
He said, "How the hell that nigga let a stanky head get in his bed?" University, did you hear that part?
No, I didn't hear that. I heard. I was on the call last night when he.
I know.
He caught up.
Stanky head. He said, "I blame that nigga." Not
of course he did.
But because he let the stanky head in his bed. He didn't
bed.
You should have clipped it. He said he didn't catch the stanky head. And he said Philippe is the fault here.
It's always Tyrone's fault. Always.
HB, did you hear?
Tyrone's always getting into trouble.
HB, did you hear what Philippe? Do you know what we're referring to about stanky head?
No,
I
don't.
Like stanky legs, stanky head.
Mm-hmm.
We played a clip the other day about a black woman who had braids in her head for 7 long weeks.
7 weeks.
7 long weeks.
Yeah.
Hit the sound. Hit the sound.
I need that shit on my. I need that shit
Roach
on my.
infested.
She had the braids in her head for 7 weeks, HB. And so she went to the beauty salon, and they were like, "Yo, you gotta wash your hair before you come in this motherfucker because it been 7 weeks of not washing your goddamn hair, right?"
7 weeks is not long not to wash your hair.
Say that one more time. Wait. Say that one more time.
Say that again.
Yes, 7 weeks is not long to wash your hair. Now, when you're another race, ethnicity, then yes, you wash your hair daily, right? But we do not wash our hair daily.
Why is that?
Because we need the oil in our hair, and you washing the oil out of your hair. So 7 weeks is not abnormal. In fact, that's really normal. In fact, you could go 6 months. Now, you do have to wash your hair, but you don't have to take the braids out to wash your hair. So, yes.
How long do you go without washing your hair, Bomb Cherry?
I go maybe about, I don't know, a month, 4 weeks, maybe longer. It just depends on if I have braids in my hair or if I don't. If my hair is just loose, then
wow.
And black men know this, but you act like you don't. Now, the reason you act like you don't, because you go even longer, right? If you have waves, you're not washing your hair every week. You gonna keep them waves going for weeks, if not months. So I don't know why we acting like you don't know this. And especially the dude up there with them girly plaits in his hair, you know damn well you ain't washing your hair every day.
Ooh-wee. Girly plaits.
You
Damn, Jungle. The Urban Landlord, man, we had so much dope on this channel. Jesus Christ, so much dope on this channel. Sometimes I think we should like have a vote, like some of the all-star dope here. We like so much dope on the channel. Yeah, sometimes I want to sit up and like, you guys, what do you think? What is the some of your most memorable moments? I'm always curious to know. As we wind down the show, shout out, HB been in the chat lately. My nigga HB, yeah, I like HB. HB got a lot of talent. I've always said that HB has a lot of talent. A lot of people kind of overlook, but I think he has a lot of talent. I like HB a lot. I think HB and we jive real well together. Guys, what did you think? When HB and we were up in on the panel, we jive real well together. At least I thought so. Maybe you guys didn't think so. You're the audience. But I thought HB and I got along very well together. Yeah. Anyway. I would love to bring HB back. What do you guys think about that? Well, you know what? Let me ask you this question. Would you guys support bringing HB back? I know John Galt doesn't ask for cash apps and all that type of thing. But I think HB would like to come back over here. What do you think? I see Jules said for sure, but I'm not sure she's referring to what I'm talking about. What does that mean? W. Yeah, I like HB. Should I call HB right now? Should I call HB? Let me see if I call HB. I don't know if his number's still the same, so let me see if I call him. Maybe. You better find out. If it's 11 o'clock, sheesh. Coming a little too late.
Please leave your message.
All right. Let me call caller, see what the fuck he. See if we can hold a caller here.
The person you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
All right, we're gonna make one more phone call. Damn, I got like 2 phone calls I need to make. I'm gonna call my buddy Philippe real quick. Give me 1 second. Let me do this. All right. Let me do this. I'm gonna call my buddy Philippe. And for those of you that are interested in whatever the fuck it is, Claude, you'll be able to hear from him. So give me 1 second. So this is a Claude AI, a buddy of mine, and I'm gonna put him on the stream. For those of you that use Claude, you may find this interesting. For those of you that don't, well, it is what it is. All right.
Your call has been forwarded to.
Oh, no answer from him. Anyway, so we talked to the liquor store owner tonight. Who else did we talk to? The liquor store owner, Master Kim, so on and so forth. Guys, are you looking forward to the liquor store owner phone call? I may end up working at the liquor store. That may be even more interesting. I don't know. Let me know what you think. It is, I'm so fucking drunk. I can't figure out what time it is. Let me see. It's 1:30? No, it's 11:30. All right. Any questions, any comments? Anyone want to hit the panel before I get out of here? Let me put it on your chat. Yo, Richard, one of these days you have to come up or at least call in through Discord or something, and we have a software talk. I think that'd be pretty interesting. I think the audience will enjoy that as well. Like the old school, new school, bridging the gaps there where there are some commonalities in software. I think it'll be interesting. up like a micro joint. And then hopefully someone would join the panel. Maybe as a question or a comment, complaint, whatever. And then let's see where we go from there. You know, I could go on and on for hours, guys. So you know how that goes. So we could also save the content for another day. So maybe put that link in the chat again. You know, it's interesting. You know, I'm not disappointed, but it is a good thing that the blacks don't come up on the panel. I think we had one in the chat. That was probably one too many. All right. Now, wish a lady would come up on the panel. What's her name? It's My Time. I don't know. Uniquely, someone like that. I don't know. Whatever. Guys, if you want to support the channel, at some point we will be getting back out on the street again, doing street interviews. If you want to support that, you could be a sponsor of the street interviews. Again, this is kind of like my channel, your channel. So if you want to see more street interviews, more in the studio type stuff, we can definitely do that. You know, I'll make it happen. So. Anyway, guys, it has been my pleasure. The chat is kind of quiet, so guys, it's been my pleasure. I am Jungle, the urban. This nigga high as a motherfucker, by the way. Let me go fast. I am the nigga Jungle. This high ass nigga.
They don't dance no more. It's all about the lean. Back in the day, crack was jumping on the scene. Now they slumped on the sidewalk. Can't talk. Golden era faded, but we still feel the rock. They used to be kings, now they lost in a scheme. Popping them bottles, throwing money, and living dreams. Now they zoned out and mumbling, fumbling. No rhythm in the city, the whole shit crumbling. They used to rock the house, they was riding through the streets. Remember there was dancing, sliding to the beat. Now it's poison in their veins, ain't no pulse on the street. Guess it's over now, they accepted defeat. Back in the day, the rock had them wild and free. Different story now, they got no energy. The new drugs got them slow with the hit unload. Out close and they don't dance no more. Rock used to be jumping, top shit they was on. Now it's lights out, guess the thrill is gone.
I am the nigga. I bring it to rough, rugged, and raw, nigga.
They don't dance no more, it's all about the codeine. Back in the day, they was rocking on the scene. Even dancing in the rain, now they nodding off. Shit just don't hit the same.
I am that nigga.